Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto trained by the gods for Chunin exams. Before I start, please support for more amazing content, and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by Dante 2K25 and link in description and support writer. Let's start the video. Chapter 01, The Great Tree. Naruto kicks the can in the street as he walks in the street in Konoha. He once again failed the entrance exam for the Shinobi Academy. He knew at once his exam had been sabotaged at once by several of the Chunin instructors. He never understood why so many people hated him. He never did anything to them. Yet he could somehow feel the hatred and how intense it was. He even knew it was direct purely at him. The only thing he could really come up with is it had to do with his parents, whose name he did not know. He even began to suspect he stolen from another village. It wasn't unheard of to have children from another village be brought to another. The Sandaime Hokage's silence on the matter only made Naruto's suspicion grow even more, and he started to believe he was a captured child. There was nothing on him in the Konoha medical records regarding his birth. As far as Naruto was able to piece together, he wasn't even born in Konoha. A small part of him wanted to dismiss that theory and thought, but it grew stronger with each passing day. That made the question about his birth, as well as the identity of his origin, grow. As far as he could tell, no Uzumaki had ever set foot in Konoha. He found a clue in the shinobi records when he finally managed to break inside at night a couple nights back. The Uzumaki clan was a legendary clan, with powerful sealing abilities and powerful fighting abilities. The records went into details that Konoha had used and adapted many of the Uzumaki's abilities into their own security defensives. However, their origin was unknown, as much of the records had been destroyed or removed. There were many lines that had been blacked out with a marker, making the words and knowledge lost. It was clear to Naruto he was an outcast of Konoha. He even began to suspect the Uzumakis were enemies of Konoha and he was stolen from them or given up in hopes for peace. All Naruto wanted was family to be here for him. If he couldn't have that, then just a single friend would be nice. Instead, the only thing he could do right now was kick the can and try to think of some way to find answers. However, he was sure the only one with answers was the Sandaime Hokage, and he wasn't talking. Naruto sighs and takes off down the street, ignoring the looks the villagers and shopkeepers were giving him. Getting fed up, Naruto took off and ran, not caring where he headed. He just wanted to clear his head. Without realizing it, Naruto was standing at a great tree. The tree that was created by the Sandaime Hokage. It was destroyed 6 years ago during the Kyuubi attack on Konoha, but the base of the great tree remains. Where the leaves dance, fire burns. The shadow of the fire will flash over the village, and the village leaves will grow once again. The voice of the third Hokage said. Naruto has pondered those words over and over again. They never made sense to him. The third Hokage always went on to say the village was family, and it was his job to look out for his family. Then why was he so unwelcome here? Why did the village, whom the third Hokage declared was family, shun him so much? The only thing Naruto knew for sure was that he didn't belong here. He knew somewhere his true family was out there. Naruto turns and walks away, unwilling to look at the tree any longer. The Sandaime Hokage was looking out his window from his office and could see Naruto walking away from the great tree. While many villagers gave him a negative report, several of his seasonal shinobis gave a different view. The most disturbing was Naruto's loyalty to the village. Many shinobis, even his own Anbu, have feared Naruto holds no loyalty to the village. In most cases, he would have Anbu keep a close eye on the individual. However, in this case, he could hardly blame Naruto for not having any loyalty to the village. The only thing he has received from the village was being shunned and hated. It was because of this, the village only pushes him further and further away. Parents weren't allowed to tell their children what Naruto was, but they made sure their children stay away from Naruto. Growing up friendless and without love was only causing Naruto to neglect everyone around him. Naruto was also starting to ask questions the third did not want him to ask. Though he should have expected it. Naruto wanted to know about his parents and family. At first, the third Hokage said they died honorably against the Kyuubi, but Naruto began to push the questions. He wanted their names and to know who they were. These were questions the third avoided, and it seems to push Naruto further away. Naruto started to believe he was a political prisoner in Konoha, and his family were enemies of Konoha. The problem with that was if Naruto started to believe it, then he would turn against Konoha. The third sighs and looks at the picture of the Sandaime Hokage. Minato, how do I save your son? Still lacking a backbone, Saru? A voice said. The third blinked and looks down to see a short elderly woman standing before him. Genkai-sensei. The third said in shock. How you been, your foolish monkey? Truth be told, sensei, not well. I got many things occupying my mind. Like young Uzumaki Naruto? Genkai said. How did you know? The third said in shock. I've watched him for the past few days. This is not how the fourth wants his son to be treated or respected. It's also clear things will only get worse from here on out. He needs to learn the truth. It may be the only thing to save him. Maybe, but the village. You need to grow a backbone. You've always lacked a backbone. That's why you let those stupid counselors and advisors push you around. Need I remind you that it is you that is Hokage, not the other way around? Genkai scoffed. You've lost your fire. Genkai-sensei, I'm still. The samurai knew, understood what it meant to stand strong in the face of the world. Remember what the Shodaime Hokage told you. No matter what happens, no matter how the wind blows, it is your duty as Hokage to stand rooted as a tree and be strong in the face of the world when you do what is right. Even if the world is telling you it's wrong. The Sandaime Hokage lowered his head as he recalled he was told that. Lately, he has been pushed around. Even when it came to the Uchihas, he was letting his advisors pushing him around. I take it you're here to take Naruto with you. I am getting old. Consider it payment for not being here when I was needed. Also, I wish to teach one last time. Then I have a request, take a small team with you. That way it won't appear to be favoritism towards Naruto. The third said. Still lacking a backbone. Very well, I'll take a small team with me. Also, start acting like a Hokage. Genkai said as she disappears from view. 2 weeks later. Naruto was sitting in the classroom. He was surprised when he got his acceptance letter. He thought for sure the third must have done something to allow him to attend the academy. However, because he had the lowest scores, he was ranked last. Or as Inuzuka Kiba said, the dead last. It was a name that stuck with him since he arrived up at the academy. The very best in the academy was Uchiha Sasuke. For a strange reason, he had a large number of fangirls that seemed to cheer and follow him around. Today Naruto was laying his head on his desk waiting for class to start. Everyone was being so loud. Naruto wished for some peace and quiet. Iruka walks in and silence filled the class. Alright, listen up, today 3 of you are going to get a real treat. A personal training trip for 4 years with the renowned shinobi, Genkai. Iruka said to the classroom. What? The class shouted. Genkai-san, please come in, Iruka said. Everyone watched as the door opens and an elderly woman walks in. What's this? She's just an old lady. Kiba shouted as most of the class started laughing. Be respectful, Kiba. Iruka shouted. She has trained the Yondaime and the Sandaime Hokage for years. She is perhaps the only person in the village who can fight the Hokage on even terms. I have decided to train 3 individuals for 4 years. I have watched you all for a week and have chosen 3 who will be my best students. Genkai said. She turns to look at Iruka, who nods his head. Right, I will now announce the 3 lucky students. Uchiha Kyoko. A young Uchiha female raised her head in surprise. Kuchiki Byakuya. There was no real visible reaction, but he too had a look of surprise. And Uzumaki Naruto. This time it was Naruto who was most surprised. He was for sure thought that Sasuke was going to be chosen. Alright, you young whippersnappers, we leave in 30 minutes, so say your goodbyes cause we got quite the hike to go. 30 minutes later they were out the gates and walking the village. What are you going to teach us? Naruto asks. I will teach you the art of chakra. As well as how to act and think like a shinobi. Genkai responded. That doesn't tell us much, Kyoko said. We could have stayed at the academy for that. Byakuya said nothing. His grandfather, the only shinobi other than the Hokage and counselors who was alive during the Foundation era, told him Genkai was a master well respected and very powerful. It was a rare honor to study under her. He told Byakuya to take every lesson seriously and learn as much as he can. Nothing else was said as they hiked through the forest. After nearly 3 hours of walking, they finally reach a dojo in the middle of nowhere. Alright, I know you're tired, but this is a good chance to train. The first thing you're going to learn is how to control your chakra. However, this is easier said than done. The ability to control your chakra while in the midst of a fight is not an easy thing to do, as you must maintain your focus. So I'm going to teach you something you wouldn't normally learn until you're genins. That's tree climbing. Sounds lame, Naruto said. Try saying that when you have to get to the top of the tree without using your hands. Genkai turns to the tree and immediately began to walk up the tree with her hands behind her back. The moment she got to the first branch, she hung upside down. As a shinobi, you'll be expected to use chakra like this in the midst of a battle. It's very hard to gather one's chakra in the middle of combat. However, I will promise you this, if you train under me for 4 years, you'll be more than ready to face the world of shinobis. Genkai could only smirk at the disbelief faces of her 3 young students. Things were going to become very interesting in the next 4 years to come. Chapter 02, Graduation. 4 years have passed since Naruto, Kyoko and Byakuya left with Genkai. While many in the academy have long forgotten about them, Their return had suddenly sparked an interesting set of topics. Byakuya and Kyoko had everyone believing had gotten a lot stronger. Naruto, who couldn't even pass the entrance exam, was thought poorly of. "Alright, everyone sits down," Iruka said as he began the day's lessons. "Now, I'm sure you've all heard the news, but 3 of your classmates are coming back today. They will already be set as a team seeing how they've worked together for 4 years. It also wouldn't be fair to grade them as they haven't been here to be graded. The dead last will need help the most," Kiba shouted, causing everyone to laugh. The door slides open and silence filled the room as the Hokage came in, followed by 3 kids. Kyoko and Byakuya were barely recognizable as their hair had gotten longer. The most surprising change was Naruto. Instead of bright blonde hair he had in the past, his hair was snowy white. It wasn't as long as the other 2, but still, it was a surprising change. Another surprising change was his 2 whisker marks were gone. Instead, Naruto looks like a serious shinobi. Before he looked gloomy and miserable. Now he was alert and headstrong. The third said nothing as he looks at Naruto and couldn't help but remember what Genkai told him. Flashback. What happened to Naruto? The third asked the moment he got over his shock at Naruto's new look. He was training in the middle of the snow, trying to control his chakra and sense his surroundings better when the snow began to change his hair. It didn't take long for his entire appearance and chakra to change as well. Genkai said with a smile at the third's smug look. "Saru, I have something to tell you," Genkai said in a serious tone of voice. The third gave her his undivided attention. "Uzumaki Naruto will be more powerful than any shinobi in his age group. I predict within the next 10 years, he'll become the strongest shinobi in the region. You should know, become strong so fast means making enemies. Both from other villages, and from within." "He's that strong already?" the third said in amazement. "His growth is phenomenal. That's not what scares me. He is very adept at molding Senjutsu chakra. When he was learning to tune in chakra around him, he was slowly starting to mold Senjutsu chakra. His ability to utilize and adapt is beyond anything I've ever seen. His talent will make him the strongest shinobi since the days of the Shodaime Hokage." The third was taken back so much he didn't even realize his pipe fell out. The power of the Shodaime Hokage was legendary. He was by himself, a one-man army. Yet his strength hasn't been seen since his death. If Naruto had that kind of strength. Genkai was right. Before he could enter his prime, Naruto will have many enemies. From other villages and from within. He could already see Danzo plotting against Naruto in case Naruto became too powerful to control. That meant he had to make backup plans in case Danzo ever did make a move against Naruto. That meant he had to warn Kakashi and put Naruto under Kakashi's care immediately. Flashback ends. "Alright, take your seats. Now I will announce your genin teams. Team 1. The third said nothing as he watches everyone's reaction to the team listing. Team 7, Uzumaki Naruto, Kichiki Byakuya and Uchiha Kyoko. There was no visible reaction from the trio who spent 4 years together. If anything, they didn't even look surprised they were going to be together. Team 8, Hyuga Hinata, Inuzuka Kiba, and Aburame Shino. Team 9, Uchiha Sasuke, Harino Sakura. You'll be joined by a seasoned genin who needs replacements. Sakura cheers at being on the same team as he crushes. Sasuke looked like he was going to have a panic attack. Team 10, Yamanaka Ino, Naro Shikamaru and Akimichi Choji, Iruka called out as he looks up and beams upon all of them. Your Jonin senseis will pick you up after lunch. Until such time, you may choose to spend your time wisely. I suggest getting to know your teammates, and you will face many journeys with them. Everyone turns to Kyoko and Byakuya, but everyone suddenly realized they had vanished. Along with Naruto. Naruto was eating an onigiri, or more commonly known as a rice ball. Genkai was a great teacher, harsh but effective. She truly taught him what it meant to be a shinobi. The most important thing she taught him was to always remember who he was. If the village failed, then fight for his friends. And whether or not he would admit it, Kyoko and Byakuya became good friends. Perhaps his only friends. Flashback. I want to know who I am, Naruto shouted at Genkai. It has been 6 months and the young 7-year-old had finally had enough and snap. He verbally attacks Genkai, refusing to do anything else until he finally got answers. He could see Genkai was regretting comparing Naruto to his parents. That told him she knew his parents. I'm afraid I can't tell you. Your name is real. However, your parents were very powerful and gifted shinobis. It's also because of this, they have made many enemies. Both outside of the village, and from within. To protect you and keep you safe, the Sandaime has kept all knowledge of your lineage a secret. Only a select few know the truth. Genkai finally said after several long moments of silence. I know you want to know who they are. Believe me, when I tell, you are not yet ready. When you are older, able to defend yourself, you will know. Right now, If people found out who you really are, then your life would be in grave danger. For more so than you're used to. Assassins would do anything to end your life, even at the cost of their own. Then why, Naruto said as he looks down. Remember all the villagers' looks and how they treated him. Why am I treated like a? Naruto stops as he was so angry he couldn't even finish or find the word to describe his treatment. The answer, young Uzumaki, is fear. Fear has clouded their judgments. This can happen, even to the greatest of shinobis. To show them they have nothing to fear, you must show them who you are. And your deeds and actions will speak more volumes than just words. That is why I took you away from the village. For things to cool down. I was well aware what was going on, and decided to act to save you. What do you mean, save me? Naruto asks. Genkai sighs as he turns and looks at the setting sun. When you become as old as I am, you begin to sense things long before they happen. 6 years ago, I felt the power of the Kyuubi. However, the Kyuubi attack left a lot of questions and very little answers. I suspect a deeper hand was involved. I feel what happened that night was only the beginning. Something else is coming. As such, new battles will be fought, but the will to fight will remain the same. I want you three to remember this. There are many kinds of battles. The first is a fight for lives, the second is for pride. When you fight for lives, you do what you can to survive and save the lives of your comrades. In a fight for pride, they fight for the pride and dignity of themselves and others. In some cases, these fights can also lead to the person dying as a result, or even losing sight of themselves. Which brings me to the next topic. Genkai turns to look at her 3 students. This world is cursed. That is how I see it. It has been cursed for a very long time. Nations create peace, but this peace are nothing more than illusions. Everyone is just waiting for another conflict to happen. Another war to emerge. As such, I have one final warning to you 3. When you look in the reflection, ask yourself this question. Am I proud of who I am? Am I capable of living off what I've done? Do not justify your actions by saying, but I was told but others to do so. You and you alone are responsible for your actions. And your actions reflect your soul. That is why shinobis fall into darkness so easily. They lose sight of themselves and begin to fall within the curse of hatred. A deadly curse that has gripped countless shinobis. In many cases, it has caused them go to mad for power and strength, even vengeance on their loved ones. Stay true to yourself. If you can stay strong in your hearts, you'll overcome many challenges. Genkai said. Flashback ends. Naruto was upset he couldn't learn who his parents were. He did, however, learn the Uzumakis helped create Konoha from the first day and have been close allies to Konoha. That was, until their destruction. There are survivors, but Genkai told him they have no clan leader. As such, they have scattered into the wind. Naruto wanted to see his homeland, the land of his clan. However, Genkai told him it was too dangerous. He would need to be a jonin with a squad to enter the land of the Uzumakis. There was a powerful barrier that kept the main island protected from any attempts to enter. And many nations have tried to enter the main island because the Uzumakis had many treasures and secret jutsus that any nation would sacrifice 1,000 men to have. It was because of this, Naruto had to study the Uzumaki art of Fuin jutsus. Genkai wasn't surprised, but Naruto soon began to become really adept at the art of sealing. He was by no means a master, but he was skilled enough to use many versions of seals. Mostly storage and its different types. Naruto's real interest was to use seals in combat. Genkai said no one really could use seals in combat. It has never been done before. That is why he was already looking into ways to use seals in combat. Hey Naruto, Kyoko said. Naruto looks at her with a blank expression on his face. Are you still seeking answers? Kyoko asks. Naruto's face fell as he looks downward. I'm always looking. I, however, have accepted that I won't get the answers I want today. For the time being, I'll wait. In the meantime, we're about to go on missions and face the world. Kyoko gives Naruto a soft smile before returning to her own meal. 3 hours later. Naruto, Kyoko, and Byakuya were the last ones left in the classroom. The 3 of them were trying to be patient, but they were starting to become impatient. Their Jonin sensei was late. By 2 hours. Even though none of them were trying to show it, it was starting to really irritate them. Finally, the door opens, and a Jonin walks in with only his right eye visible. Without warning, Byakuya, Kyoko, and Naruto launched their shurikens at the Jonin. He briefly appeared stunned before he steps aside to allow the shurikens to pass and pierce into the wall. That was a rude way to say hello. The Jonin as he looks at the 3 genin hopefuls. Meet me on the roof in 10 minutes, he said as he disappeared in a whirl of leaves. On the roof, the 3 genins were glaring at their Jonin sensei. Alright, let's start by introductions, the Jonin said. What are we supposed to say? Kyoko asks. State your names, hobbies, dreams for the futures, and things you hate, he said. Why don't you go first? Naruto said. Me? I'm Hatake Kakashi. I have no intentions of telling you my likes and dislikes. As for my dream, Kakashi looks up as if he was in deep thought. I have many hobbies. So all we found out was your name, Byakuya said. Come on, let's go with you, Whitey. I'm Uzumaki Naruto. I like training, learning new jutsus, and spending time with my friends. I dislike cowards and traitors. My dream is to become the greatest Hokage and reunite my clan and bring it back to its glory days, Naruto said. Kakashi narrowed his eyes. His clan. That's right, he's an Uzumaki. It would make sense Genkai would have told him. It also makes sense, because, with the death of the clan leader Uzumaki Ashina-sama, as well as the death and destruction of their homeland, they drifted into the winds of other countries. If he seeks to reunite the clan, then any village they settle in will gain tremendous power. Okay, next. I'm Uchiha Kyoka. I like some things, with more things I hate. My dream is to avenge my clan and bring justice to the one who took my clan away from me. That's a dark path. I'm Kuchiki Byakuya. My dream for the future is to bring honor to my clan and become its greatest clan leader. We got a one with social problems, a vengeful seeker, and a powerful and unstable kid. This could interesting. Alright, now that we have done that, we're going to do something only the four of us can do. What's that? Naruto said. Survival training. Kakashi watches for their reaction and immediately could tell the three were suspicious of his words. This is not normal survival training. If I tell you you're going to flip, Kakashi said, begins to chuckle for a bit. He calms down and speaks in his serious tone of voice. Out of all 30 graduates, only 9 will have the chance to become genin. Those that fail will return to the academy. In other words, this is a test that has a 69% failure rate. All 3 got a visible reaction as their eyebrows twitches. Clearly, they were upset. See, I told you guys we're going to flip, Kakashi said with his famous eye smile. Then what was the point of the graduation? Naruto shouted. Kakashi looks at him in surprise as he has never heard Naruto give an outburst or heard of him outbursting. Oh, that? That was to see the potential of those who had a shot at being genin, Kakashi said. Byakuya was starting to shake. He brings his hands up together and tries to calm himself down. Kakashi gets up, enjoying his little fun. Now then, the meeting is over. We meet tomorrow at Training Ground 7. Oh yeah, before I leave let me give you one piece of advice. Don't eat breakfast, you're just going to throw it up. Kakashi disappears in a swirl of leaves, leaving behind the 3 dumbfold genins. Chapter 03 The Test. It was 5 am, and Naruto wasn't even awake, or had time to get used to Konoha again. Yet he grabs his gear and looks at his tanto. He wasn't sure if he was ready to use it yet, but against a jonin. Naruto sighs as he puts on his gear. He still had an hour to get ready, but his training with Genkai had taught him to never take any time of mission or training lightly and come prepared. Even if he didn't know what was to be expected. Half the time, shinobis were sent into areas completely in the dark. Mostly because unexpected things happen, and that got them killed. Harry walks out his apartment, and quickly goes to the training ground. Kyoko and Byakuya arrived at the same time as he did. After 4 years of training, they all developed the same sleeping habits. 6 arrive and Kakashi has yet to arrive. It wasn't until 8 o'clock and the sun rising in the sky that he finally appeared. Good morning, Kakashi said. I was on my way here when a black cat crossed my path, Kakashi began, but quickly ducks when his 3 students launched their shurikens at him. Alright, let's begin, Kakashi said as he sets down the timer. You have until noon to complete your objective. In this case, you must get these, Kakashi said as he holds up 2 bells. You must get these bells from me before noon. If you don't, I'll tie you to those logs and eat lunch in front of you. At that moment, the 3 students' stomachs growled as they realized why he told them not to eat breakfast. Kakashi's eye smile grew wider at the thought of tormenting his students. Alright, start, Kakashi said. The 3 genins disappeared from view, but Kakashi was able to track their movements well. Even though they haven't said a word to each other, they went their separate ways. They were able to grasp the situation without having to ask questions. Now, how will they approach me? Kakashi wonders as he looks around the apparent empty clearing. The primary principle of the shinobi is to hide their presence from detection. Those 3, their skills are above genin level in stealth. They're hiding well. Now, who will lose patience first and make the first move? Kakashi didn't have to wait long as more shurikens appeared aiming for him. Kakashi sidesteps the attack only to look to his left and sees Naruto attacking him. He's going on my left side, which he believes is my blind spot. Not bad, Kakashi thought as he brings up his hand to block the incoming fist. Naruto recovered in midair and throws a roundhouse kick to Kakashi's face. Kakashi's ducked the blow, but his eyes grew wide when he realized Naruto was removing a hidden weapon. A tanto came from his back as Naruto swings the blade at Kakashi. I knew they would come at me with intent to kill, but this is insane. Genkai-sama, what on earth did you teach them? Kakashi grabs Naruto's wrist before throwing him into the ground. Quickly Kakashi sits on him, while keeping his arm locked in place. Taijutsu is 1-3 shinobi tactics. You seem to be fair in it, Kakashi said as he brings up his right hand into this pouch and brings out his book. Flirting Paradise came out to play. One of the key aspects in taijutsu is to never let your opponents get behind you or move faster than you. Remember then, and you'll excel well, Kakashi said as he used his thumb to turn the page. Naruto disappears in a puff of smoke. What, a Kage Bunshin? Genkai-sama, why on earth did you teach him a Jonin level technique? Naruto opens his eyes as he reviewed his clone's fight with Kakashi. Right away he knew he didn't stand a chance one-on-one. Now he would wait for Kyoko and Byakuya to fight Kakashi, and they would give their assessment on Kakashi's strength. What Kakashi didn't know was that all three of them could use the Kage Bunshin. It was a tactic Genkai taught them when they came face to face with any opponent. If the clone couldn't defeat the opponent, then assess their strength and find a way to overcome the opponent together. It didn't take Naruto long to realize that the test was about teamwork. Naruto already had a general idea how to get the objective, which was the bells. However, he wanted Kyoko and Byakuya to have their turn with Kakashi and see what they thought about the situation. Kyoko rushes forward and attacks Kakashi the moment Naruto's Bunshin disappeared. She knew wasn't as physical as strong as Naruto, but she was agiler. Kakashi never let his right hand remove from the book he was reading, yet she was able to force Kakashi to move to avoid her blow. Kyoko attacks with blinding rage, forcing Kakashi to sidestep her attack. She's not as physically as strong as Naruto, but damn she's fast. Kyoko spins in midair and tries to throw a kick as a kick at Kakashi. She grins when he blocks it. She immediately started to form some seals. Those seals. She shouldn't have enough chakra. Kakashi realized as she finishes the seals the moment he let her go, and she hit the ground. Katon, Gokakyu no Jutsu, Kyoko shouted as she releases the fireball at Kakashi. She could only use it for several seconds before she releases the technique. She was gasping as she could feel ready to disperse. She looks shocked to realize Kakashi-sensei wasn't anyone in sight. She quickly looks around and hopes to spot him. Underneath, Kakashi shouted as his hand reaches out and grabs her left foot. Doton Shinjuzanshu no Jutsu. Kyoko couldn't stop what happened next as she was dragged into the ground. Kakashi appeared in front of her. Shinobi tactic number 2. Ninjutsu, Kakashi said with his eye smile. Kyoko, however, suddenly puffs in smoke in front of him. One of Naruto's? No. When I grabbed her, that wasn't Naruto's chakra but her own. I may not be a sensor, but I know someone's chakra when I touch their chakra. Meaning she can use the Kage Bunshin as well. Genkai-sama, you're a monster. Kakashi paused when he realized the morning sky had suddenly become dark. Shinobi tactic number 3, Genjutsu, Kakashi said. Kakashi moved fast and immediately appeared before Byakuya. Byakuya leaps backward and forms a half-seal ram. Leaves started spinning around. He's capable of performing 2 genjutsus at once. These genjutsus are low level, but he uses them so well. Now I see, Naruto attacked me in taijutsu to test my skills. Kyoko tests me in ninjutsu. Byakuya is testing me in genjutsu. Those kids, they're going to be something else. Kakashi forms a ram seal and says Kai. The genjutsu disappeared and Byakuya looks for a brief moment stunned. Byakuya, behind you, Kakashi said. Byakuya looks behind him to see Kakashi with a rat seal, and the leaves started spinning like a vortex. Byakuya immediately forms a ram seal and begins to control his chakra flow. However, the genjutsu was stronger than he anticipated and he started to move slowly. Kakashi narrowed his eyes when he realizes Byakuya wasn't subdued to his genjutsu. Granted, it was stronger than most fresh academy students could handle, but even natural-born genjutsu users like Kurenai wouldn't be able to handle it fresh out of the academy. Kakashi leaps down and kicks Byakuya's feet. Just as he suspected, the moment Byakuya hit the ground, he disappeared in a puff of smoke. Another Kage Bunshin. Genkai really doesn't do favorites. I should have expected this when Naruto revealed the Kage Bunshin to me. Kakashi paused as he begins to scan the area. All three are heading together. Now, what will they do? Naruto lands as quietly as he could on the ground as Kyoko and Byakuya lands next to him. As we suspected, Kakashi-sensei is strong, Naruto said. We can't beat him. Just judging my battle with him, he was clearly toying with us. Meaning he's not taking us seriously. He can rip us apart even if we go at him together, Kyoko said. However, that's what becomes many shinobis' undoing. Remember, Genkai-sensei always told us, shinobis who begin to relax and take things easy always end up defeated. Byakuya replies. The objective is clear, we have to get the bells. However, Kakashi isn't taking it seriously because if he does, then we won't graduate. meaning he's fighting us only at a level he believes is appropriate for this test. There is no doubt if Kakashi-sensei was serious, we wouldn't be able to talk right now. That means he's evaluating us and seeing how we perform. He knows about our Kagebunshin. That won't work again. Naruto began. I can't form another even if I wanted to. I don't have the chakra anymore. Kyoko said. As much as I hate to say it, I can't either. My clone wasted a lot of chakra with just those 2 genjutsus. Byakuya also said. Byakuya, can you still cast a genjutsu? Naruto said. Yeah, but Kakashi-sensei will notice it right away. My genjutsus don't affect him. Byakuya said. I could perform it. My genjutsus are stronger. Kyoko said. Naruto shook his head. I got a plan if you guys can think of a better way then say it. Just hear me out. Naruto said. It took only a minute to explain his plan. So you're going to be the Deco. That's not a bad plan. However, are you sure it will work? Byakuya asks. Do you have a better one? Naruto asks. As much as I hate to admit it, Naruto's plan may actually work. It does hold the element of surprise. Even for a brief moment. That could be the difference maker for this test. Kyoko said. Byakuya said nothing. I can't think of a better way. Alright, we'll do it. Byakuya said. Alright, let's go, Naruto said as the 3 of them disperse. Kakashi immediately felt something wasn't right. The 3 of them separated. No, I can't detect 2 of them on genjutsu. Smart kids. Does that mean? As if on cue, Naruto appeared with 3 Kagebunshins. Well, I'm not surprised you can make more than one, Kakashi said. However, with your chakra levels, you can only hold it for about 2 minutes. Are you sure that is why to beat me? Kakashi watches Naruto's reaction. He just grinned like a goofy 10-year-old. Naruto and his clones begin to form hand seals as they charged at him. Henge! All the Narutos shouted. Kakashi's eyes opened wide when the smoke cleared. Naruto had changed into characters from Flirting Paradise. Naruto immediately began to say lines from the book all while acting it out in front of him. Spoilers. No! Kakashi claps his hands over his ears and shuts his only visible eye. Kakashi opens his eyes when he heard the sound of bells ringing. Opening his eyes and looking at the trio, Kyoko stood there with the bells along with Byakuya, who was grinning for the first time. Naruto, however, how the biggest grin of all. Okay, spill, how? Kakashi said. He wanted to hear how they could have pulled it off so well. Simple, we observed you, Kakashi-sensei. You pulled out that book and said you really wanted to know what happens next. Meaning you haven't read the book yet. That's all it took for me to create a distraction. Byakuya used his remaining chakra to cast a genjutsu on me to mask my approach on you from behind. If I had come running normally you would have heard me, meaning Naruto's distraction would have been wasted. While the genjutsu was cast to mask my sound, Naruto waited until I was within striking distance to create his henge. Kyoko said. From there it was simple, you merely made the mistake of keeping all your attention on Naruto when there was 3 of us, Byakuya added. Naruto used himself to distract me and keep attention on him, while Kyoko attacks me from the rear with Byakuya supporting her. That's teamwork you don't find in genins. Chunins and jonins, but that take years. These 3, they're really going to be something one day. You're the first team to ever get the bells. I've been testing genin hopefuls for 6 years and you're the first to display teamwork so well. That is what this test was about. Teamwork. In Konoha, we value the lives of our comrades as much as our own. Individual skills are important. However, working with others is just as important. That means when you put on that Konoha forehead protector, you are a team member of the village. I want you 3 to follow me, Kakashi said as he leads them to the fire memorial stone. I want you 3 to look at these names. These are the names of heroes who died in the line of duty for the village. Their names are written on here, as a reminder to all who crosses their path, that they are not forgotten. That we honor our comrades both in life and in death. The swirls on my jacket, Kakashi said as he points to the red swirl in the middle of his back, is a symbol to our allies and comrades. That we respect and honor you. You're not just a shinobi of a Konoha, but you're a part of the great tree that supports everyone and guards them. That is what being a Konoha shinobi means. The 3 said nothing as they stared at the memorial stone. Remember, those who break the rules are trash. However, those who disregard their comrades are worse than trash. Kakashi said, quoting Obito's words. Yash, that ends today's lessons. From now on, you 3 are genins of Konoha, Kakashi stated with a nice smile. Obito, you would be proud. Your teachings have left their mark on the next generation. Chapter 04, Deception and Truth. Kakashi walks in the Hokage office. While he was well known for being late, there were some things he was never late for. One of them was meeting the Hokage. When the Hokage asks you to show, you show. Kakashi understood this and respected this. Kakashi, good, you're the last one to arrive. The Sandaime Hokage said as he lets out a puff of smoke before putting his pipe back in his mouth. Did everyone give their report? Kakashi asks. They did. Kurenai, Asuma and Hayama have all passed their genins. My team pass. They showed excellent teamwork and cooperation with one another, Kakashi reported. Silence filled the room that you could hear a pin drop. You pass a team? You, Kurenai said in surprise. Is it really that hard to believe? Kakashi asked as he started to feel nervous. Hokage-sama, there has never been 4 teams that have passed. Should we hold another test too? Hayama began. What's done is done. No point of making the genins redo the test. I'm willing to bet they want to enjoy their success. The Sandaime said. Kakashi, remain behind, I want to hear about your team's success. Everyone else turns around to leave. Well? The third asks the moment the door was shut. They will become strong. Especially Naruto, it's hard to believe he can use his chakra so well at his age. Naruto will become strong, we knew that from the beginning. What of the other 2? Kyoko could become the fastest shinobi of her generation. Byakuya may not look like it, but he's a trickster. He always thinks 3 steps ahead. Even though he's a kid and lets himself be one, he remains serious when he needs to be. The 3 of them could become the next Sannin. That's quite the claim. Go out and enjoy yourself with your new team. Also, keep a close eye on them. You know as well as I do, they will make many enemies inside the village. I'm aware, Kakashi said as he disappeared in a puff of smoke. The third sits back in his chair. Danzo, what are you up to? Why have you been silent for so long? The third knew Danzo couldn't defeat him. That's what made him so frustrated, was that he was stronger than him. He doubts he would face assassination attempts soon. However, Danzo hasn't done anything lately that made him wonder what he was up to. Especially with Naruto's return. Kakashi walks through the street thinking about his own time with Team Minato. There was so much he did wrong, he was determined not to let his mistakes repeat with his team. Yo! My eternal rival! A loud booming voice shouted, causing Kakashi to wince at Guy's sudden appearance. Guy appeared in front of him with his genin team. Did you say something? Kakashi said. Damn you, Kakashi, and your hip attitude, Guy said. What do you want, Guy? Kakashi asks. Are the rumors true? You took a genin team, Guy said. Yeah, I'm about to meet them for curry, Kakashi said, wishing he had it. Yash, my team will join yours, Guy shouted. You know how important these moments are, Kakashi began. Let's go meet Kakashi's team, Guy said to his team, igniting his good guy pose. Kakashi sighs, knowing he couldn't stop Guy from joining on his team meeting. You're late, Naruto stated. Sorry, but I ran into a comrade who insisted on joining, Kakashi stated as Guy and his team walk in. Yo, Kakashi's pupils. How are you on this youthful day? Guy said. The trio looks at him as if he had grown a rather large head. They're not really talkative, Kakashi said as he sits down and looks at his menu. Meet my students, Guy shouted. Lee, Niji, and Tenten. The trio said nothing as their meals had arrived and they turned their attention to their food. Guy, Kakashi said, as his food arrived. You know these moments are special for a team. Guy paused then started laughing. Of course, my eternal rival. The next time we meet, my pupils will destroy yours, Kakashi, Guy said before he walks off laughing. The students all wave goodbye except the Hyuga, who glared at them before he scoffs and walks away. Eternal rival? Naruto said once Guy's team was gone. He's been chasing to beat me ever since we were kids. He's always been persistent. Now let's eat, Kakashi said. Hey sensei, Kyoko asks. What is it, Kyoko? Kakashi said. What type of missions are we going to be doing? Kyoko asks. You're rookies, so it won't be anything intense. Basically, you'll be doing chores around the village and improving your skills. Only until you've proven capable of handling yourself that you will be given better missions to suit your skills, Kakashi said. It better not be boring. We've been training for 4 years to do something serious, Naruto said. You're going to have to take it slow and work on your teamwork before you get any serious missions. It will take time, but you'll get there, Kakashi said. These kids, Naruto and Kyoko, have seen hell before, but they've never fought in hell. They will be the quickest to adapt to the shinobi life. Byakuya is good discipline, and they're capable of becoming great. Each team is created for the purpose of a role. If I was to take Guy's team, they would be a heavy combat team. Kurenai's team is a recon team, while Asuma's team is an intelligence and backup team. This team can become an all-rounder type, capable of combat, intelligence gathering, and recon, Kakashi thought with a smile. A team like this hasn't been assembling since Minato-sensei's team. Nothing much was said as Kakashi watched his 3 students talk happily about being shinobis. Thought he was going to regret the bill they were going to rack on him as they ate a lot of food. Naruto walked home after saying goodbye to Kyoko and Byakuya. In front of his door, he notices a Chunin standing there. One of the academy's students. Uzumaki Naruto, I'm here with a mission for you, the silver-haired Chunin said. What is it? Naruto asks. The village council doesn't believe you deserve to be a genin after being away from the village for so long. They have decided to grant you and your teammates a special test to see if you truly qualify to be a genin. Naruto blinks. He knew the council didn't like him, but this was new. What do I have to do? Naruto asks. Your teammates are being met with other Chunins and are giving their own assignment. Your assignment is to steal the village's scroll of sealing and meet me at a rendezvous point near the outskirts of the village. You have until midnight to complete your task. What's your name? Naruto asks. Mizuki. Naruto narrowed his eyes while looking at Mizuki, who was smiling at him. Something in his gut was telling him something was wrong with this mission. But the only way to know for sure what was going on was to do the mission. He would have sought Kakashi-sensei, but he didn't know where Kakashi-sensei lived. Later that night, the Hokage was standing before a group of Chunins and Jonins that came to respond to the unexpected theft. Hokage-sama, you've been warned the demon brat is no good. Now here's the proof. Give us permission, a Jonin shouted. Hokage-sama. Enough. We don't have intelligence regarding the reason behind this theft. Bring Naruto to me at once. What is going on? This isn't like you, Naruto. Naruto was speeding towards the forest where a small cabin was in the woods. Naruto looks around to see Mizuki, but he was nowhere to be found. Naruto opens the scroll and could see some jutsu's formula were on the page. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu? Naruto said. He already knew the jutsu, but he continues to read it. What he read made his eyes baffle. About the Kage Bunshin's special ability. He realized it was defiantly going to be useful when he was training. He moved to the next and read what was written on there. Naruto! A voice shouted, causing Naruto look up to see Iruka-sensei heading towards him. Iruka-sensei, Naruto said as he got to his feet and holds the scroll up. The scroll was heavy and as tall as he was, but so far Naruto was managing. Why did you steal the scroll of sealing? Iruka asks. Naruto blinks as he looks at Iruka. This is supposed to be a test the council gave me, Naruto said. A test? Without Hokage-sama approval? So it was a trick. Mizuki is after the scroll of sealing. I should have told the old man at the very least. At that moment shurikens appeared from trees heading for them. Iruka, being more seasonal, pushed Naruto out the way before taking the blunt of the attack. He brought his arms up to his face to protect them from getting impaled. Mizuki jumps down on the lower branch with 2 large Fuma shurikens on his back. You did well to find this place, Iruka, despite not being a sensor-type shinobi. I thought for sure this place was forgotten, Mizuki said. Naruto reaches for his tanto and got in a defensive stance. He wasn't sure if he was able to fight a Chunin, but he wasn't going to go down without a fight. Well, it seems like my plan has been ruined. But it doesn't change anything. The scroll of sealing will be mine, Mizuki shouted. Mizuki looks from Iruka to Naruto. Did you know, Naruto, that Iruka is like the rest of the villagers? They want you dead, Mizuki said. Naruto said nothing as he knew Mizuki was trying to distract him and get him discouraged. Do you want to know why? Mizuki suddenly said. Naruto looks up and stares at Mizuki. As much as he tried to block out Mizuki's words, it finally looked like he was going to get some answers. He tried to block it out, but it was hard. He was giving in to temptation. 10 years ago, the Kyuubi attacked our village and brought the shinobis of this village to its knees. The Yondaime Hokage managed to defeat the Kyuubi. Do you want to know how? Naruto head pops up. He has heard the story many times. However, the clear details on how the Kyuubi was defeated was never told. All he knew was the Yondaime Hokage managed to stop the beast. That's where it ended for him. Details on how it happened were never told. Stop it, Mizuki. You know it's forbidden, Iruka suddenly shouted. His body. That's because the Yondaime Hokage sealed the beast inside you, Mizuki shouted. His words hit Naruto hard as he came to the realization what Mizuki's words meant. Now do you understand? The Yondaime Hokage couldn't defeat the monster, he merely made a new one. In other words, you are the nine-tailed fox. Naruto could only stand there at the realization was setting in. He was the reincarnation of the Kyuubi, merely trapped in human form. That meant he was destined to become the ultimate evil of the world. He would kill his friends and destroy the village and wreak havoc and destruction upon the world. Once I kill you, the village will recognize me as the village's greatest hero, Dai Kyuubi, Mizuki shouted as he grabs his Fuma shuriken and throws it at Naruto. Naruto! Iruka shouted. The Fuma shuriken hits Naruto in the chest, causing Iruka to open his eyes wide in shock. Naruto and the scroll of sealing disappeared in a puff of smoke, leaving behind a stump in his place that was impaled with the Fuma shuriken. What? When did he use the Kawarimi no Jutsu, substitution no Jutsu? He should have been in a state of shock and not be able to weave signs. Don't tell me, he's skilled enough to use the Kawarimi without weaving signs, Mizuki thought with frustration as he grins his teeth. His presence has also vanished without a trace. That's impossible, no genin can hide so well. Not even the monster fox. Where did his evil presence go? Mizuki thought as he jumps up and vanishes into the trees. Naruto was panting as he was holding the scroll and trying to hide his presence. For the first time, he wasn't sure what to do. The truth was in front of him, and he was scared. He's never been so scared in his life before. Not even when the villagers chased him around trying to kill him. A noise startled him as he looks through the bush to a replica of himself, and an Iruka on the ground. Iruka disappeared in a puff of smoke and Mizuki appeared with Naruto disappeared to reveal Iruka. Why do you defend him, Iruka? Isn't he the monster that killed your parents? Mizuki asked without a care in the world. That is true. The Kyuubi did kill my parents. And for 10 years I blamed Naruto for their deaths despite the fact he wasn't at fault. That was my mistake. Naruto is a shinobi of Konoha. You know our ways, Mizuki. We never leave a comrade behind, Iruka said with a smile. That ideology is pathetic, Iruka. You've seen the harsh world. This is a world where it's survival of the fittest. The strong eat the weak. And I will do what it takes to come out on top, Mizuki shouted. Then you don't mind fighting me, Kakashi said behind Mizuki. Mizuki's eyes open wide as he slowly turns around to see Hatake Kakashi standing there. And he wasn't standing alone. He looks around to see a team of ANBU in the trees. Naruto's eyes would have popped out of their socket from his eyes. He didn't even sense Kakashi-sensei or the ANBU approach. And he was a sensor type. Genkai's words were true. There are several types of sensor types. Some can feel chakra from miles. There are those who can detect chakra and its pathways. There are those who can see chakra. However, as there are those with the gift of sense, there are those with the gift of conceal, the ability to hide their chakra from sensors. Konoha is a village with many people capable of both sensing and concealing. However, be wary of Kirigakure shinobis. They're the best at concealment. The best defense against them is Konoha's Hyuga clan Byakugan. Sensor-type shinobis are valuable. However, you can't truly rely on your sensing in many situations. Uzumaki Naruto, a man said as he jumps down. He had an ANBU mask on with red and green markings. A woman with long purple hair with a line under her eyes along with a line between her forehead appeared next to him. Naruto quickly brings out his tanto and holds it in front of him. After what Mizuki told him, he didn't know who was a friend from foe. We're here under Hokage-sama's orders. Rest assured, we know what has transpired here. Hokage-sama has already been told. However, we need to take the scroll of sealing back. Or you will be punished for stealing it in the first place, the man said. The woman grabs the scroll of sealing and Naruto made no motion to stop her. Hokage's office. I see everything has calmed down, the Sandaime Hokage said as Naruto stood in the room with Kakashi and the ANBU. Is it true? Naruto asks. The third looks at Naruto with a hard look. Mizuki may not have fully understood what he told you, but yes, it's true. That night, the Yondaime Hokage sealed the Kyuubi inside of you. Then I am the monster reborn, Naruto said with his head down. Naruto, the third said. He holds a kunai and a scroll in his hand. This kunai is the Kyuubi, and the scroll is you. If I sealed the kunai inside the scroll, does that mean the scroll is the kunai? No, it's still a scroll with a kunai sealed inside of it, Naruto answers. He learned that in his first week at the academy. Exactly. The same is said about you. You may have the Kyuubi sealed inside of you, but you are not the Kyuubi. I did not want to tell you this until you were older. You were far too young to carry such a burden, yet you carry it. I wanted you to have a happy life without knowing the burden you carry. Perhaps I was being a fool. Why was I chosen? Naruto asks as he clutches his fist. I cannot tell you that, at least not today, the third said. Why? Naruto shouted. I'm sure Genkai-sama has already told you, but your mother and father were powerful shinobis. They made many enemies, both outside the village and inside the village. Understand, for your safety you cannot know, not until the day comes when you can defend yourself. And when is that? Naruto asks. I see you have no intentions of just letting this go. Very well, I shall tell you everything, the day you become a jonin. However, understand, the moment the truth is revealed, many people will come to kill you. You must get stronger before that day comes, the third said. Then I have to get stronger? Naruto said. Naruto, you were assigned to me because I'm also here to protect you. I know it's hard, but for your own safety, you'll have to wait until you become strong, Kakashi said. Naruto said nothing. Naruto, you will have a difficult road ahead, but the day will come when you will have what you desire. You just need patience. Now go home, and get some rest, you have a busy day tomorrow, the Sandaime Hokage said. Naruto nods his head and turns to walk out the room. It was just hard to grasp the reality of the QB sealed inside of him. However, he was going to show everyone he was Uzumaki Naruto and not a monster fox. Chapter 05, Enter the Mist. It has been 2 weeks since Naruto, Kyoko and Byakuya became genins, and they were stuck with doing D-rank missions. Needless to say, they were not thrilled in doing D-rank missions. Today they were stuck chasing Tora, the feudal lord's wife cat. Kakashi was, as always, observing their work. Did you capture the target? Kakashi said into his mic. We got it, Byakuya said in his mic. Kakashi could hear the sound of struggling in the background and could only assume Kyoko and Naruto were wrestling with the cat. Yash, capture lost pet Tora complete. Isn't there better missions we can do? Naruto shouted into the mic that sent Kakashi flying backward. Kakashi gets up and sighs. Despite having to mask his emotions, Naruto was still a 10-year-old boy and would lash out with his emotions if he was upset. He only prayed he wouldn't do something to Hokage-sama, cause he would end up paying for it if he did. Kakashi watches Naruto nervously as they turn in their mission report. While it was a success, the trio were getting fed up with all the D-rank missions. Alright Team 7, for your next mission, you can babysit Yoka the third began, but Naruto interrupted him. No! Naruto shouted. Kakashi sighs knowing Naruto had finally reached his limit. The Sandaime Hokage looks up to see what had caused Naruto to give an outburst like that. No more D-ranks. We're not improving our skills doing these chores. We need to be tested, old man. We've been training for 4 years. We need to put our skills to the test, not wasting time on those chores you call missions. Naruto shouted. Kakashi sighs knowing how the team felt about the D-rank missions. They were miserable and craved better missions. Despite being rookies, his greatest fear was they would just do something stupid and reckless to get that mission. Like steal one of the mission scrolls and do an A-rank mission. Naruto, looks like I need to explain what these missions are, the Sandaime Hokage said as he began to lecture them. Missions are divided into A, B, C, and D rank based on the team's skills, the Sandaime said, but looks up to see the trio were huddled together looking at some A-rank mission scrolls. What about this one? Naruto asks as he holds the scroll to his teammates. This is a B-rank, Naruto. Choose something better, Kyoko said. What are you doing with the mission scrolls? Irika shouted in shock. Trying to find a mission that suits our skills. We're busy, Naruto said as he opens a new one. The one he opens was an A-rank mission. How about this? Assassinate some shinobis in Bear Country that is causing trouble, Naruto said. Do you even know how to get to Bear Country, Naruto? Byakuya asks. We'll find it, Naruto said with a grin. Then we got our mission, Kyoko said. Absolutely not, the Sandaime Hokage shouted. We're going, old man. See ya, Naruto said as the trio turned around. I cannot let you take that mission, the Sandaime Hokage shouted. We want better missions. You can't stop us, old man. Sorry, Hokage-sama, Kakashi said nervously. Those three will take that mission if Hokage-sama doesn't give them a slightly better mission than the D ranks. Shinobis in this village earn their missions. You want a better mission, I'll give you a C-rank mission. A simple escort mission that should prove useful to your skills. Would you accept that? The Sandaime Hokage asks. The trio looks around. It better be good, old man, Naruto said. You will be going to Wave Country to escort a builder and protect his bridge from bandits. Bandits? You think bandits are a challenge to us, old man? Naruto said in disbelief. For a shinobi with no combat experience, this will be a real challenge. No amount of training can prepare you for the real thing. Do well in this mission and we'll talk more about you doing better missions, the Sandaime Hokage said. Wait a minute! Sakura's voice shouted just before the door behind them slides open. Why don't we get a better mission too? Sasuke-kun is Rookie of the Year and deserves it the most, Sakura shouted. Team 9 stood there while Sasuke was looking away. Another boy whom they never spoke to just stood there looking slightly annoyed. Team 7 doesn't deserve that mission. We've done more missions than they have, Sakura shouted as she storms into the room. Unlike Team 9, we have skills to back it up, Kyoko said. What did you say? Sakura shouted as she got into Kyoko's face. The two glared at each other with an intensity that lightning sparks could be seen when they made eye contact. Alright, that's enough. Since we're low on D-rank missions, I'll allow Team 9 to join Team 7 on their C-rank mission, the Sandaime Hokage said. Hokage-sama, Irika said in surprise. It's fine, Irika. Besides, we got 2 jonins to watch over them, the Sandaime Hokage said. Sorry about this, Kakashi-senpai. The Jonin said, apologizing to Kakashi. Don't worry about it, Kanbei, Kakashi said. You know him? The boy asks. Hi, Hatake Kakashi is perhaps the village's strongest Jonin. You could learn much from him, Inoue said. You're Hai, right? That's right, Hai said. I hear you're good, Kakashi said. You haven't seen anything yet, Hai claimed. Alright, let's meet at the South Gate in 1 hour, Kakashi said. Konoha South Gate. Team 7 and Team 9 stood there with Tazuna the bridge builder who was drinking sake out of his gourd. Alright, let's go. Naruto paused as he looks in front of him. Everyone was moving forward while he hung back looking at the strange seal in the sky. Naruto, what's wrong? Kakashi asks. It's nothing, Naruto said as he takes his first step forward. It was clear to him that a powerful barrier surrounded Konoha. The first defense was detected anything that moved into Konoha. The second defense would repel any attack heading into Konoha. Nothing was said as they walked down the road. They walked in silence. It did not go unnoticed to Naruto that Tazuna was glancing around as if he was expecting to be attacked. Then Naruto, Kyoko, and Byakuya looked up. They could sense it. Ahead of them were 2 powerful chakra-type users hiding in a puddle of water. Near the edge of the forest was about 12 bandits. Naruto narrowed his eyes. This wasn't a coincidence. It was clear who was the target. However, Kakashi and Kanbei made no motion that they were alarmed by the attackers. Slowly they walked closer and moved past the puddle. Naruto kept his senses on high alert. That's when the attack came. The 2 shinobis attacked Kakashi and Kanbei, ripping them to shreds with their chain. The moment the 2 jonins fell, the men from the forest jumped up and attacked them. Kyoko, however, made some seals and formed her family signature. Katan, Gokaku no Jutsu, fire style, fireball technique, she cried out. By the time the bandits had time to register what she said, a giant fireball was released heading straight for the center of the group. Several members screamed as the fireball engulfed them. Naruto looked at them carefully. It's clear that they've had some chakra training. However, they've never really fought against a shinobi before. This wasn't uncommon for rogue shinobis to teach bandits how to use chakra, but they made sure the level they posed didn't threaten them. Naruto forms some hand seals but stops as some shurikens were launched at him. He leaps up and quickly eyes the situation. There were still those 2 shinobis left, and about 4 bandits remaining. Naruto charges at the bandits, hoping to lure the 2 shinobis with him. The problem was they were faster than he was. Naruto removes his tanto and cuts the first bandit in front of him. Shit! Naruto cursed as he looks behind him. The 2 shinobis ignore him and were heading straight for Tazuna, who was guarded by Sakura, who was holding a shaky kunai. It was clear she was afraid. Byakuya moves to intercept them. However, it was clear he wasn't going to make in time. A shuriken hits their chain, piercing the ground, causing their movements to stop. Sasuke and Kyoko both appeared above them and kicked them in the face. The blow only knocked them back and didn't knock them out. Instead, they both disconnect their chain from their gauntlets and rushed forward. If Sakura was scared before, it was nothing like she was showing now. She was visibly shaking from head to toe, unable to think straight. Sasuke moved in front of her, ready to defend his teammate. Byakuya and Kyoko moved to intercept them from behind. Before anyone had time to register what happens, both shinobis were in a headlock by Kakashi. Kakashi-sensei, Naruto said as Hai was busy tying up the remaining bandits. Good job, Naruto, Kyoko, Byakuya, Kakashi said with his famous eye smile. Even though we did well in our first battle, it's clear that we were outmatched by those 2. Kakashi-sensei knew they were there. Yet he only intervenes once he confirms who they were really after. How did you know? One of the shinobi said. It hasn't rained in weeks, so there would be no puddle. Also, I need to know for sure who it was you were after, Kakashi said simply. The 2 looked surprised to hear his words. Almost as if it finally dawns on them their mistake. Kanbei, did you get word to the village? Kakashi asks. I did. Inbi should be arriving soon to pick these 2 up, Kanbei replied. Remain behind to make sure they don't escape. These 2 are the Demon Brothers, former Chunins of Kirigakure. They're also known for fighting till the end for the right price, Kakashi stated. Kakashi turns to Tazuna, with a hard-eye glare. It was enough to make the man gulp. Why don't you tell us from the start what is going on? It's a long story, Tazuna said. Then talk. Can't we walk and talk? Tazuna said nervously. Kanbei, you stay here. I'll take your students and meet you ahead, Kakashi said. Understood. Naruto walks forward with his head down. So they were Chunins. I'm still not strong enough. I need to become stronger if I want to become Hokage. Kakashi-sensei took them down without any trouble and in a split second. My country has been overrun by a terrible man, Tazuna said, bringing Naruto to the present. He brought in rogues, ninjas and bandits to quickly overthrow our country's militia and has ruled it with an iron fist for the past 2 years. Tazuna began. Naruto said nothing as he listens carefully. He quickly absorbed all economy and has crushed all hope. So, who is this terrible man? Kakashi asks. His name is Gato. Gato? From Gato Industries? He's one of the richest men in the world. He's also in charge of marine shipments, isn't he? Kakashi said. Yeah, at least that's how he appears on the surface. In truth, he's an underworld crime lord. He brings in shinobis and bribes to take over countries like Wave to get what he wants. The money I gave your village was all the country had left to offer. Even our daimyo has been tapped dry. In truth, this would be more of a B rank or an A rank. But we don't have the money to offer such a mission. However, I'm trying to build hope. I'm building a bridge that will connect our main island to the mainland. It would mean a trade could reassume in our country. However, Gato doesn't want such hope to exist. He has sabotaged and even gone to great lengths to threaten my employees. Tazuna said. We would have made compromises, Naruto said. Naruto no baka, don't speak of things you don't understand, Sakura shouted. Shut up, Sakura. Tazuna, if you wanted Konoha to remove the problem, we would have to ask for trade agreements with Wave to make up for the mission cost. Naruto said. That makes a lot of sense, everyone was thinking. Nothing else was said as they walked forward towards Wave Country. It felt time went more quickly as they reached the shore of Fire Country quickly. Tazuna, a man said wearing a hood. Yo, Tazuna said. They all got in the boat and sailed across. If Gato is as powerful as Tazuna said, then money would be the main weapon. That would mean he would send a Jonin-level shinobi against us since the Chunins failed, Kakashi thought the moment they reached the main island. Being an experienced war veteran, Kakashi's senses were on high alert, warning him that he had stepped into enemy's territory. Kakashi eyed the surrounded landscape carefully. We're being watched. Kakashi realized the mist was concealing his watcher's presence. Author notes. Hope everyone enjoyed it. Please, our suggestions are welcome. Chapter 06, Demon of the Mist. They had been walking for quite some time without saying a word. They just walked in silence. Naruto's senses picked up a slight detection ahead and tossed his kunai at the bushes to his right. He heard his kunai hit the tree bark. Naruto no baka! Sakura shouted as she hits him on the head. Don't scare us like that, she screamed. Kakashi went forward and looks at what caused his student release his kunai. What he was had him go on high alert. A snow hare? They should only be white during the winter. Naruto's sensing skills are amazing. Even I couldn't sense anyone here. A Jonin is here. One that is skilled enough to hide their presence from sensor type. Does that mean Naruto's sensing skills are stronger than Byakuya and Kyoko's? Uzumaki's are known to give birth to the powerful sensor. So I shouldn't be surprised. What is surprising is that Kyoko is a sensor type as well. Sensor type Uchiha are born once in 1,000 years. Though the last known Uchiha sensor was Uchiha Madara. Is Kyoko going to follow Madara's path? Kakashi was broken out of his train when he heard a strange sound in the wind. Everyone, get down! Kakashi shouted. Naruto grabs Tazuna and hits the deck as a large blade passes them overhead. A figure drops down using the Shunshin no Jutsu, body flicker technique, and stares at the group. Nothing was said as everyone just stares at him. Well, if it isn't Momochi Zabuza, the rogue shinobi from Kirigakure, Kakashi stated. Naruto, Kyoko took a defensive stance. Byakuya looks at Zabuza carefully. Sakura looks petrified at the thought of a strong shinobi appearing. Sasuke and Hai both look somewhat excited. If you're our opponent, then that means I'll have to use this, Kakashi said as he lifts his forehead protector up. His left eye opens to reveal a red eye with 3 tomos. A Sharingan, like Kyoko's? Oh, so you're the famous Sharingan no Kakashi. Sorry, but I have to insist you hand over the old man, Zabuza said. Get in the Manji formation, protect Tazuna. That's your mission, Kakashi said. Kakashi-sensei isn't a Uchiha. Using the Sharingan on a non-Uchiha body can be heavy on the body and chakra. Can Kakashi-sensei use the Sharingan well enough in battle before his opponent can defeat him? Naruto thought. The mist started to pick up, making the area dense with visibility. When I was in the Kirigakure ANBU Black Ops, I carried with me a bingo book. Information regarding Hatake Kakashi was put in there. The man who has copied more than 1,000 techniques, Sharingan no Kakashi. Sakura looks amazing to hear Kakashi was a splendid shinobi. Sasuke was looking stunned at the sight of a Sharingan. Let's end the chit-chat here, I'm supposed to kill that old man. Naruto, Kyoko, and Byakuya were the first to move, surrounding themselves around Tazuna. Sakura, who was already standing next to him, looked slightly worried. However, with you in the way, It would seem I have to defeat you first, Kakashi, Zabuza said as he looks at Kakashi. He grabs his giant sword, kicking the tree, launches himself at the water. Ninpo, Kirigakyu no Jutsu, ninja art, hidden mist technique, Zabuza said as the mist suddenly became so thick he vanishes from sight. It didn't take long for the mist to make Kakashi disappear from view as well, and he was only 5 feet away. Kakashi formed a hand seal and Chakra erupted, clearly a small patch of mist, allowing the 6 genins to see him. Momochi Zabuza, the first thing he'll do is eliminate me. I'm his biggest threat, Kakashi said. What is he? Sakura asks. Momochi Zabuza, a former member of Kirigakyu's ANBU Black Ops. He's also a master at silent killing, Kakashi stated. Silent killing? Sakura repeated. As the name suggests, it's the ability to kill an opponent in absolute silence. No noise or sound is carried out. Momochi Zabuza is well known to have mastered this ability to the point he can kill opponents before they even realize he's even there, Kakashi stated. In other words, not a single sound can be heard when Momochi Zabuza is involved. Naruto paused. It wasn't the fact that Momochi Zabuza was capable of killing in silence, it was the fact that he could move around without detection. This meant he was capable of moving around while hiding his chakra. Byakuya was a sensor, but not a skilled one. Not like Kyoko and himself. Kyoko was capable of sensing flickers in a person's chakra network, but she hadn't mastered the ability to sense chakra like he could. Guys, motion seals, Naruto said. Kyoko and Byakuya nod their heads. They all formed the 3 seals and placed 2 fingers on the ground. With Sasuke and Hai in the back, they will be able to see if Zabuza comes that way. However, this could be problematic if Zabuza can throw projectiles at Tazuna without making a sound. We just have to pray Kakashi-sensei can defeat Zabuza. Nothing else was said as the mist soon became thicker. It was intense, as Naruto was doing all that he could, but couldn't sense Zabuza's or Kakashi-sensei's chakra. Both of them were skilled at hiding their chakras. Finally, a voice broke the silence. 8 spots. Zabuza's voice rang through the area. The larynx, the spine, the lungs, the liver, the jugular and the subclavian veins, the kidneys or the heart, Zabuza's voice said. Naruto said nothing as he waited for what Zabuza meant. Which one should I strike? No, Sakura said. No! She screamed. Sakura, Sasuke said. I don't want to die. I won't want to die. She kept repeating. Get her to calm down, Naruto said. Sakura, Hai said as he grabs her, but she was already shaking. Naruto looks back and could see it wasn't just Sakura in bad shape. She had fallen to her knees and was holding her head. Sasuke was also in a bad way. He was holding his kunai, and it looked like he was getting ready to end his own life. Sasuke, Sakura, Kakashi said as he forms a ram seal and the mist clears. Don't worry, I'll protect you with my life, Kakashi said before he turns around and shows them his eye smile. I'll never let one of my comrades die. I doubt that, Zabuza said. Naruto, Kyoko, and Byakuya head perk up at the voice. It wasn't possible, but Zabuza was behind them. It's over, Zabuza stated. Naruto, Kyoko, and Byakuya all reach for the Tantoes and shoves it into Zabuza's gut before he could swing his giant sword. Kakashi at that moment took a step forward towards them to intercept Zabuza. Naruto notices something strange about Zabuza. He was hunched over like he was in pain, but instead of blood, he notices water. Mizu Bunshin? Water clone, Kakashi said. That's right, Zabuza said from behind Kakashi as the Mizu Bunshin dispels into a puddle of water. Before Kakashi could react, the giant sword cut through his midsection, cleaving him in half. Zabuza looked pleased with himself but paused when he notices Kakashi too dispelled into a puddle of water. Doton, Tsuchinami no Jutsu, Earth Style, Mud Wave Technique, Kakashi voice shouted. The ground began to shake, causing everyone to lose their balance. For Zabuza, his feet got trapped in some mud. You're right, Zabuza, it is over, Kakashi stated as he comes out the ground. You hid in the ground? Zabuza said in shock. Kakashi-sensei already made that Mizu Bunshin when the mist got thick and quickly replaced himself in the ground watching everything. He did all that without any of us sensing what was going on. Kakashi-sensei knew Zabuza would send a clone to us first. He hopes to lure real Zabuza out after he drops his guard after the clone was defeated. That also makes sense as Zabuza's voice was far away when he spoke. No way he wouldn't have gotten past our motion sensor seals without us nothing. That means, he made a Mizu Bunshin from the mist exactly behind us. You impress me, Kakashi. Your insight is better than I've heard. You had your clones speak to lure my attention away from the Gakis. After they had managed to defeat my Mizu Bunshin, you had your clone drop its guard to lure me in. Not a bad plan only. It's not enough to defeat me, Zabuza said from behind Kakashi as the trap Zabuza turned into a puddle of water. Kakashi ducks, avoiding the giant blade from cutting him in half, only for Zabuza to kick Kakashi and sends him flying into the water. Zabuza rushes forward only to stop short when he notices some makibishi spikes. How foolish. Still a monkey, Zabuza said. Kakashi emerges from the water and tried to get to his feet on top of the water. Kakashi, Zabuza stated from the ground. You lose. Mizu Bunshin no Jutsu, Zabuza stated. Zabuza quickly formed some hand seals as his clone appeared behind Kakashi. Suiro no Jutsu. Water prison technique. What happens next was a bubble of water surround itself around Kakashi, and the clone holding the bubble. Don't bother trying to get our Kakashi. It's capable of restricting your movements like a slug. It would be troublesome if you were moving around, so I'll deal with you later. First, I'm going to make you watch as I kill your Gakis, Zabuza said. Kakashi's eyes open wide. I shouldn't have gone near the water. As a former Kirigakure shinobi, he has the advantage with water. Now then, how should I deal with you Gakis? I don't expect I'll get much of a workout for dealing with any of you. So, there's no point in getting my hands dirty. I think one will do. Mizu Bunshin no Jutsu. A water clone emerges from the edge of the water and kicks the makibishi spikes away. You Gakis wearing those forehead protectors, thinking you're real shinobis. You're just kids playing shinobi. But a real shinobi is one who goes through life and death experiences countless times. In other words, unless you get yourself in my bingo book, you'll never be a real shinobi. Guys like you are just Gakis, Zabuza clone said as he steps forward. Naruto grins his teeth and bursts forward. Naruto! Kyoko shouted. Naruto unsheathes his tanto and moves to strike against Zabuza. He brought his blade down only for Zabuza to stop it with his own blade. What? He didn't dispel into water? Naruto was stunned at the thought. Did you honestly believe I would dispel at your level? Zabuza said as he brings his foot back. I can't dodge. Naruto realized as his own feet weren't on the ground. Naruto brought his arms up as a shield to block the blow. The kick was powerful, sending Naruto flying backward. Naruto! Kyoko shouted as she jumps up and grabs Naruto. Only she couldn't stop Naruto from flying backward and they both hit the tree. Kyoko receives the worst as her back hit the tree and Naruto collided into her, literally pancaking her between Naruto and the tree. Kyoko? Naruto said. Kyoko coughs, as blood slowly makes its way down the corner of her lips. My ribs are broken, she said as she holds her ribs, trying to nurse them. You guys. Take Tazuna and run. His Mizu Bunshin can't go far. You stand no chance against this guy. As long as he keeps me trapped in the water prison, he can't move very far. Force him to make a difficult choice. Sorry Kakashi-sensei, but that option become void the moment you got caught. What a minute, why is he sending a clone to deal with us instead of himself? Naruto thought as he looked at the situation. With his skills, he could send a Mizu Bunshins around maybe 500 meters. Yet he hasn't budged an inch since he faced us. Is it because it can't? The water prison, I see he has to stay within a certain range of his clone to keep it functioning. If he drifts too far his jutsu it will fall apart, and Kakashi-sensei will be freed. Hey Kyoko, can you still fight? Naruto asks. Not well, Kyoko replied. Attack Zabuza with your shurikens, Naruto said. The only reason why you Gakis managed to dispel my previous Mizu Bunshin is because I allowed it. In other words, you didn't dispel my Mizu Bunshin, I did, Zabuza stated in amusement. Zabuza paused as he notices something above him. How naive, Zabuza said as he grabbed Sasuke by the throat. Sasuke drops his Fuma shuriken and was trying to grasp for air as Zabuza was crushing his windpipe. Trying to attack the real me thinking I was distracted by that other Gakis? Not a bad idea, only it won't work on me, Zabuza said. Zabuza paused when he realized some shurikens were heading his way. Zabuza said as he tosses Sasuke into the shurikens. Zabuza's eye opened wide when the shurikens bend away from Sasuke but still heading towards him. Wire strings. Zabuza ducks the shurikens and nearly took a step forward. It was that instant that Naruto felt the water prison chakra shift. Zabuza retracts his foot allowing the flow of the water prison to remain. I was right. He can't move any further. Sasuke, Naruto said as he picks up Sasuke on the ground. Kyoko and Naruto with Sasuke over his shoulder returns to the group. Guys, don't make things worse. Not even Sasuke-kun was a match for him. We should do what sensei says and run away. That way. He can't move anymore, Naruto said, causing Sakura to shut up. Isn't that right, Zabuza? That's why you won't finish us off yourself is because you can't, Naruto stated loudly. This caused both Zabuza, Kakashi, and everyone else to look at him. Naruto is not good at forming strategies. He's never has been. Not even when Genkai put us all through those trails. However, he is gifted in tactics. Genkai said most shinobis can either plan ahead or create a plan during battle. Naruto is the type that, after careful analysis of the situation, is able to come up with strategy in the midst of combat. This is a skill few have. Kyoko thought as she knew Naruto had her launch those shurikens at Zabuza for a reason. Don't get cocky, brat. If I felt like it, I can walk over there and kill you myself. Don't make things worse, Naruto. Let's go before Sakura began. Except you can't, Naruto stated. It's true, if you were just using the Mizu Bunshin you would be able to. But you're using the water prison. You said you didn't need to get your hands dirty to finish us off. You said that because you were attacking us psychology. The truth is, you can only be so far from the water prison technique before that jutsu will collapse. In other words, where you're standing is the furthest you can be away from your own jutsu, Naruto stated. In other words, you can only send clones to face us, Naruto stated in a boastful tone. Zabuza's eyes narrowed dangerously. It was hard to tell, but he actually looked frustrated. Then Zabuza started laughing. You got me figured out. You're right, I cannot go any further as long as I want to keep the water prison active. However, you cannot run from me like your sensei wants. My clone is faster than you and can move more than 1,000 meters from me. That is why I am called the Demon of the Mist, Zabuza stated. 1,000 meters. Also, let me tell you one thing, hiding from me is no good. I am a master at hunting through sound alone. Also, despite my disadvantage you pointed out early, there is still one thing you're overlooking. This is still my terrain, Zabuza stated. What are you doing? I told you guys to run. It should have been obvious what was going to happen once I was caught. Listen to me. Our mission is to protect Tazuna. Have you forgotten that? Kakashi shouted. I'm the one who should be apologizing. If I had told you guys the truth at your village, you wouldn't be in this mess. Do what you want, Tazuna said. Kyoko, how are you feeling? Byakuya asks. My ribs are broken, but I'll live, Kyoko said as she was still holding her ribs. I got a plan, we'll be able to turn this around, Naruto said. Zabuza, however, heard Naruto and started laughing. You kids are funny. You're still playing shinobi. When I was your age, my hand was already stained red with blood, Zabuza declared. This statement caused Sakura and Sasuke to take a step back. Hai could feel his arms shaking as the Team 7 took a firm stance in the ground. The demon, Zabuza, Kakashi stated. Oh, you've heard of my name, Zabuza stated to Kakashi. A long time ago, in Kirigakure, it was also known as the Bloody Mist. Shinobi students faced their biggest hurdle and had to go through a special graduation ceremony. So you do know about our graduation exam, Zabuza stated. What kind of exam? Sakura asks. However, the fear was clearly in her voice as she was shaking badly. Zabuza chuckled for a bit as no one said a word. Students killing each other, Zabuza stated. Classmates who had shared dreams together were forced to fight each other to the death. The only way you would be accepted as a shinobi is if you killed your best friend. It didn't end until one of them died. This time Sakura moved her mouth to prevent herself from throwing up. The very idea was sickening. 10 years ago, Kirigakure was forced to change its graduation exam after a certain person appeared. That was because an evil demon had appeared the previous year. What he did left Kirigakure speechless. Without pause or hesitation, with no shinobi training of any kind, who didn't have the qualifications for being a shinobi, slaughters the entire graduation class. Over 100 students were killed by this boy, Kakashi said. That was so much fun back then, Zabuza said. His words had a heavy impact, forcing everyone to freeze in place. Zabuza water clone moved forward and drew back his giant blade. Naruto pushed forward and blocked the blow with his tanto. The water clone's strength caused Naruto's knees to buckle. Naruto twisted his tanto, and the blade crashed into the ground as Naruto leaped in the air. Forming a one-hand seal, Naruto channeled his chakra into the blade and swings. The clone looked for a moment stunned as the head was finally separated from the body. Finally, the water clone dispelled. A Fuma Shuriken appeared around heading for Zabuza. Aiming for me while using my water clone as a distraction. It won't work. Zabuza stated, only to notice that the Fuma Shuriken wasn't heading for him, it was heading out to the lake. It finally twists and turns, moving around the water prison towards the water clone. The water clone grabs it in midair and holds it before a second shuriken impaled it in the gut. Kyoko, she used the Kage Shrunken no Jutsu, Shadow Shuriken technique. She quickly used Naruto's attack as a distraction to hide her second Fuma Shuriken in her first one. Had Zabuza seen that, he would have been able to stop it. Zabuza's eyes opened wide as the water prison technique was broken and Kakashi landed on his feet. Looks like I'll have to kill the old man myself, Zabuza declared as he grabs his giant sword and rushes forward. Kakashi suddenly appeared in front of Zabuza and kicks him into the water. That was well done, all of you, Kakashi said. Shunshin no Jutsu? Body flicker technique, Naruto said as he stares at Kakashi. Yeah, I'm a master at using the Shunshin no Jutsu. It only took me 3 steps to get in front of Zabuza, Kakashi stated. 3 steps? He took only 3 steps in a split instant. Not many can use the Shunshin no Jutsu in combat, Kakashi, Zabuza said as he gets up. Zabuza, I'll warn you this once. The same technique won't work on me twice, Kakashi stated. Zabuza grabs his giant blade that was on his back before charging forward. Kakashi pulled out a kunai and charges as well. A noise next to Naruto caused him to look back and see Kyoko had fallen to her knees. Kyoko, Naruto said, but paused when he notices something different about her normal onyx-like eyes. Her Sharingan was activated. It wasn't in its perfect form, as she only had 2 tomo in each eye. However, it was clear she was watching the fight carefully with her Sharingan. Kakashi and Zabuza both leaped back. The both started forming seals at a rapid pace. Finally they stop. Suetun, Suryuden no Jutsu, both of them shouted. Water style, water dragon technique. 2 massive waters shaped like a dragon appeared and rose up. They charged at each other and collide with a heavy force. Both of them charged forward with their blades in a deadlock. They both leaped back and started circling each other. After exchanging some words, they both started forming some seals. Only for Zabuza to stop short as Kakashi finished. Suetun, Daibakufu no Jutsu, Kakashi shouted. Water style, giant vortex technique. The water rose up and quickly swallowed Zabuza. On the sidelines, everyone feels the heavy wind the jutsu was creating. It was enough force to nearly take them off their feet. It finally ended and Zabuza could be seen against the tree with several kunai in him. Before anyone had time to register what happened, Zabuza fell to the ground as if he was dead. Zabuza's chakra has vanished, Naruto realized. Everyone turned to look at a lone masked man standing on a tree branch. A Kirigakure Anbu, Naruto realized. Kakashi jumps down and checks Zabuza. The Anbu member bows its head. I thank you. I have been waiting for the chance to kill Zabuza. That height and voice. He's not older than Naruto and the others. Yet he's in the Anbu? He's not a normal kid. The Kirigakure Anbu member jumps down and grabs Zabuza's body. I must dispose of the body. I bid you good day, he said as he disappeared with Zabuza's body with a shunshin. Well, something interesting happens, didn't it? A voice said. A figure jumps down and lands by the group. Hayama-sensei, Sakura said. Well, we had a little trouble, Kakashi said as he covers his Sharingan with his forehead protector. Kakashi took several steps forward before he fell straight down. Guess I'm carrying Kakashi-senpai, Hayama-kanbei said. Naruto grabs Kyoko and hoists her on his back, carrying her piggyback style. She said nothing as she deactivates her Sharingan. Naruto saw a great battle between 2 jonins. All he could think about was how far behind he really was. Chapter 07, Chakra Training. Both Ataki, Kakashi and Kyoko were laying down in a bed. Kyoko's broken ribs meant she had to rest to recover. As for Kakashi, he had used his Sharingan too much and was depleted of chakra. That meant both of them were bed rested. Something Kyoko hated. Naruto was using his chakra to heal Kyoko's body as Byakuya was using his to heal Kakashi's. Team 9 was sitting on the sidelines watching. I must say, senpai, I didn't expect you to get bed rested so soon, Kunabi said. I haven't fought an opponent that good in a long time. Not since my NBU days, Kakashi stated. Senpai, what's on your mind? Just thinking. Something is bothering me like I'm missing something, Kakashi stated. Who was that NBU? Sakura asks. A hunter nin. A shinobi who specializes in hunting other shinobis. During the reign of the Yondaime Mizukage, many of his shinobis went rogue. To find these shinobis, Kirigakure formed a special unit in their NBU, the hunter nins. They track down their missing shinobis and eliminate them. Kakashi paused as if he just realized something. Now I see, Zabuza is most likely still alive. What do you mean still alive? You barely survived your last encounter with him, Kakashi-sensei, Sakura said in a panic. It was clear she was afraid of Zabuza banging through the door to slaughter them. Last time the killing intent between 2 jonins was enough to nearly kill me. Yet those 3, Sasuke paused as he looks at Team 7. Those 3 weren't even affected. It was like they've been through that battle 100 times already. Damn it, why am I so weak? I was stronger than Kyoko back when we were kids. How is it that she's stronger than me? What did the hunter nin use to kill Zabuza? Kakashi asks. Saban needles, Byakuya answers. Saban needles have a low ratio kill rate. In order to ensure a kill, they are most coated in poison, Kakashi replied. Poison, then are you? Sakura shrieked, losing her head. Sakura, shut up, Kyoko said from her bed. Don't you understand the situation? Zabuza could attack us any moment, Sakura said. How on earth did you become a shinobi? You're so pathetic, Kyoko said. What did you say? Sakura shrieked as her fear was suddenly replaced with anger. I'm saying you're pathetic, Sakura, Kyoko said. You're the one who is pathetic. I'm Kunoichi of the year, and you're the worst Kunoichi of the year. Get your facts straight. Sakura shrieked out loud. The only reason why you're Kunoichi of the year is that your mother sits on the village council. I'm willing to bet even Ino and Hinata are stronger than you. I also know this, despite my weakened state, you're no match for me either. Kyoko stated calmly. What did you say? Sakura, that's enough. Hayama Kanabi suddenly snaps, causing Sakura to fall silent. Kyoko speaks true. You are not near her level yet. She also went through 4 years of training under Genkai-sama. So it's clear that she is the strongest Kunoichi of your year. Well, I'm glad that you're all getting along. However, sensei, aren't you overthinking things? Tsunami suddenly said, speaking for the first time. One of the key aspects of a shinobi is deception. Also, hunter neens dispose of the bodies on the spot, and only take the head as proof of their kills. Instead, the hunter neen took Zabuza's entire body, despite the fact that Zabuza was much larger and heavier than his own, Naruto said. Correct. Also, hunter neens work in teams of 4. Yet that hunter neen was alone. This could only mean that he was Zabuza's partner, and the Saban were meant to save Zabuza. Kakashi stated. But how did Zabuza survive? You confirm it yourself that Zabuza was dead? Sakura asks. Most likely, Zabuza enter a near-death state. It's a state in which the body mimics death. It appears that the person has died, but in truth, their heart rate merely stops for a short time, about 1 pulse a minute. Then we have to get out of here. Zabuza could be coming right now. Sakura shouted. He won't be coming, Sakura. Kanbei suddenly said. Everyone turns to look at him. If Zabuza was in a near-death state, then that means his body will need time to recover. Being put in a near-death state makes the muscles of the body numb, and the user can't move around like they want. Meaning he'll be resting somewhere safe. We have a couple of weeks before Zabuza returns. That's the good news. That means to prepare you guys for Zabuza return, we're going to train you guys. Everyone follow me, Kakashi said as he gets up. Only he stumbles backward. You should be resting, sensei, Tsunami said. I have plenty of time to rest. Everyone follow me, Kakashi said. You're just going to die, a little boy's voice suddenly said from the doorway. Everyone turned to see a little boy wearing a fisherman hat. He seemed to have been hiding in the doorway. Inari, when did you get back? Tsunami asks. Inari ran up to his mother and hid behind her leg. Mother, they're just going to die. They can't win against Gado, Inari said. Something in his tone of voice caused Naruto to grow a vein. Kakashi apparently saw this too. Okay, Kanabi, you'll stay with Tazuna while I teach my team and yours something that will be useful to them. What are you going to teach them, senpai? Tree climbing, Kakashi stated simply. Are you sure that's wise? It's a very difficult training for them. I don't think they'll be able to. Against an opponent like Zabuza, the element of surprise will work greatly in their favor. Tree climbing will help them against Zabuza. Kakashi got some stretchers and started walking outside with Team 7 and 9 following him. Nothing was said as they followed Kakashi. Okay, this is a good spot. Now, as you heard earlier, you're going to be tree climbing. Hey, sensei. How is tree climbing going to help us? We can already jump on trees, Sakura asks. You'll be climbing without using your hands, Kakashi stated. Huh, Sakura said. I really hate her, Kyoko thought to herself. Their time in the academy was short. Back then Sakura was quiet back when they were 6 years old, but now she got an attitude and seemed to be used to pushing things her way. Kyoko remembers hearing the rumors. Sakura's mother councilwoman Harino Mabuki forced the Sandaime Hokage to put Uchiha Sasuke on the same team as her daughter. Sakura, it seems, was being groomed to replace her mother on the village council. This, unfortunately, was causing Kyoko and Sakura to get at odds with each other. Well, I should begin, Kakashi said as Sakura and Kyoko began looking at each other. Sparks were flying between their eyes. Sakura hates Kyoko due to the fact that Kyoko is a Uchiha as well as more talented than she is. Kyoko hates Sakura's attitude. Talk about irony, Kakashi thought as he tried to prevent any fights between Team 7 and Team 9. Chakra is essentially for shinobis. It allows the user to use both genjutsu and ninjutsu. It's energy that mixes both spiritual and physical energy into one. However, certain types of training allow you to manipulate chakra throughout your entire body. We're already able to use jutsu, Sasuke began. No, you haven't. All you've been doing at this point is wasting chakra. A shinobi must use chakra wisely. This statement caused Sasuke to grow a vein. Just watch. This is what you're going to be doing, Kakashi stated as he turns to a tree. First I'll gather my chakra correctly to my feet, then Kakashi said as he walks up to the tree. Team 7 pick up the slight flow of chakra within Kakashi chakra. Kakashi sticks his foot to the tree and started climbing. He got to the first branch just by walking upright on the tree. I don't expect you all to walk up the tree right away. Instead, you'll be running. First, gather the chakra you need to stick on the tree, then run up. Best to have a head start. Use your kunai to mark your position and keep track of your progress, Kakashi stated. Everyone pulled out a kunai and began to focus on gathering their chakra. I've done chakra control with Genkai-sensei before. However, that was mostly by mediating and trying to manipulate the flow of chakra in our body. Naruto shook these thoughts out and quickly focused on his chakra flow to his feet. He charges with everyone else to the tree. He took 3 steps before his right foot slipped, and he marks his spot before jumping down. Only 3 steps? Naruto looks at everyone else. Kyoko and Sasuke had gotten the furthest, with Kyoko just beneath Sasuke. Hai and Byakuya were also neck to neck and had nearly reached the first branch. This is easy, Sakura called out. Everyone turned to look at her as he was sitting on the second lowest branch from the tree. Well, everyone's strength is just as I expected, Kakashi stated. That's right, I'm stronger than you, Kyoko, Sakura said in a bragging voice as she sticks her tongue out at Kyoko, who grew irritated at her. No, Sakura, you are not, Kakashi stated. Sakura paused as she looks at Kakashi. Controlling chakra is difficult for the individual. The weaker the person has chakra, the easier the control. In other words, you have the lowest amount of chakra of the group. The higher the chakra, the more difficult to control. In other words, Naruto is the strongest genin here. Are you telling me Kyoko is stronger than me? Even the Dobe? Sasuke thought as he looks at his cousin and at Naruto. Hai and Byakuya both look at each other before looking at their respectable tree marks, while Sakura was fuming at Kyoko. Everyone rest and get back to your positions, and try to aim higher, Kakashi called out. Even with that being said, the truth of the matter is, Naruto has more chakra than all the other genins combined because of the Kyubi no Yoko sealed inside of him. In 10 years, he'll have twice the amount of chakra than the Sandaime Hokage. That is if he is properly trained. Naruto's dream is to become Hokage. Naruto, soon you'll learn just how difficult those words really mean. Kanabi was on the bridge keeping an eye out. You sure about this? Tazuna asks as he moves some equipment around. Don't worry, those kids will be fine under Kakashi-senpai. Senpai, why do you call him that? He's not that much older than you, is he? Tazuna asks. Why would someone as great as him babysit some gakis? Tazuna asks. Who knows, he's been looking for a genin team for almost 3 years now. Everyone was surprised when he finally took one. Though it's not so surprising seeing how Team 7 is a special case. The trio who were trained by Genkai-sama. No way they would fail. All the Jonins are eager to see their development at the upcoming Chunin exams, and see just what those 3, so special. Later that night, everyone was eating. Kakashi and Kanabi apparently brought a lot of food. Enough for them to feast for a week. So how was training? Kanabi asked as the genins were eating. Only Sakura was eating light as everyone else was stuffing their faces. The moment Kanabi said that Team 7 and Team 9 lock eyes with each other. I can't wait to defeat that bitch. Shinero. Sakura thought as looks at Kyoko. I can't wait to silence that whore, Kyoko said as she looks at Sakura. I'm going to get stronger, Naruto thought as he looks at Sasuke. I can't let them get stronger. I have to get stronger, strong enough to defeat him, Sasuke thought as he stares at Naruto. Kanabi looks at the 6 genins staring each other down. Looks like we've got a rivalry going on. This is good, as having a rival will push you to get stronger than you could on your own. This sparks a fire inside a person to become stronger than you could on your own. Kakashi-senpai, you're the devil in disguise. By the way, I've been wanting to ask you guys this, but why are you still here even when I lied about the mission? Tazuna asks. Not doing right when you know it is right, is a coward's way. There are no weak soldiers under a valiant commander. These are the teachings of the previous Hokages, Kakashi stated. No one said anything as the family looks at Kakashi. Why are you trying so hard that you'll just die in the end? You can't beat Gado's men even if you train. No matter how hard you try and say good words, the reality is you're just going to die against Gado. Weak people are going to die against the strong. Inari shouted. Shut up already, I'm different from you, Naruto said as he puts his head on the table. Shut up. It pisses me off when I watch you. You don't know anything about this country or suffering. You have no idea what real pain is and just laugh all the time. You're only butting in and being nosy. I hate people like you, Inari retorted. Is that why you just cry? Naruto said. Someone who lacks strength because he doesn't want other to have the strength to carry on. Who would rather just give up and let himself be bullied? Idiots like you, who have no strength, can just keep crying, Naruto said as he gets up and walks out. Shut up. Someone like you doesn't even begin to understand how I feel. Inari shouted as Naruto walks out the room. A gaki like you has no right to judge us, Kyoko said with her Sharingan blazing. Inari gulps and took a step back as he stares into her Sharingan. She gets up with her head down and walks out, closing the door and disappeared into the night. Later that night, Kakashi walked over to a crying Inari who was outside sitting on the porch with his feet dangling over the water beneath him. May I sit with you? Kakashi asks. After sitting down, just starting at the incomplete bridge, Kakashi finally spoke. Naruto didn't say that to you out of spite. He can be very stubborn. It's part of his character. We heard about your father from Tazuna-san. Naruto is more similar to you, due to the fact he had no father when he was young as well. In fact, he grew up parentless. He also grew up friendless. During all that time, I have never seen him sulk or cry. He always pushes himself forward and works hard. That's why he's able to put his life on the life for his dream, which is to be acknowledged. He's most likely done with crying, as he gets nothing from it. It's why he understands what it means to be strong, just like your father. That girl didn't have to. Kyoko. Kyoko knows your feelings too well. When she was younger, she used to smile and laugh all the time. Until that night happened. What night? Inari asked, looking at Kakashi. Her entire family and clan were massacred before her eyes. It left a psychological scar on her. Also, left her nearly emotional dead. Since that night happened, she never laughs again and she lost her smile. She survived, but a part of her died that night as well. She never cried though, Kakashi stated as he looks up at the moon. She tried to be strong and didn't want to show weakness. However, even she's fragile inside. That's why I know, those two know your pain very well. What they're trying to teach you is to move past that pain and don't let it consume you. Kyoko, unlike Sasuke, was present when the massacre started. Her family was cut down before her eyes. However, what isn't known is why Itachi spared her. He merely places her in a genjutsu as he continues to massacre the clan. This caused a drastic change to appear within her as the once happy girl became so cold-hearted. However, even I can see that Naruto is having a powerful impact on her. Kakashi said nothing, knowing his two students were still coping with their own loneliness. He knew from experience, others would help deal with the loss. Chapter 08, The Legend Begins. Naruto and Kyoko soon made a habit of sleeping outside under the trees as they would train relentlessly. Byakuya wasn't pushing himself as hard as they were, nonetheless he was training hard. Not to the point he would pass out. However, for Naruto and Kyoko, they would train relentlessly. Pushing their bodies to the max. Kakashi never said a word. For them, this was something they needed to do themselves, as they've never really encountered another shinobi before. Kakashi knew they would be able to handle chunins without trouble, but jonins were another matter. It was also different as they've never really been in the field before. Naruto was on his back sleeping from exhaustion as he let himself rest from his training. He never noticed a figure walking by picking up herbs. The boy paused as seeing the pair on the ground. Wake up, you'll catch a cold, the boy said as he shakes Naruto and Kyoko. They began to stir as they slowly woke up. They sit up and look at the boy before reaching for their kunais. What are you two doing out here? The boy asks, not even taking the kunai into consideration. Naruto and Kyoko look at him before slowly lowering their kunais. We're training, Naruto said as he looks at the person carefully. Naruto's senses told him he met this person before, however, he couldn't remember where. Why? The boy asks. To become stronger, Naruto answers. The boy looks at him as he tilts his face. Why do you want to become stronger? You ask too many questions, Naruto said darkly. Well, judging from your forehead protectors, you're shinobis, the boys ask. Then you know we shouldn't be taken lightly, Kyoko said, speaking for the first time. I know. However, I cannot help but be curious. Why do you train to become strong? I want to become Hokage so everyone can recognize my existence, Naruto said truthfully. What about you? The boy asked kindly to Kyoko. I'm looking for answers, she said simply. I see, do you know the secret in becoming strong? The boy said. Naruto and Kyoko look at him, giving him their undivided attention. It was clear they were interested. A person only becomes truly strong if they have someone precious to them they are willing to protect. Someone precious, Naruto repeated. The boy smiles. One day you'll understand. In saying that, he stands up and begins to walk away. I hope the day comes when we can meet again, he said as he walks away. I get the feeling I've met him before, Naruto mutters. Kyoko said nothing as she gets up. The tree we climbed at Genkai's place was harder. I can't believe we're having trouble with chakra control, Kyoko said as she picks up her kunai. It seems by not taking Genkai advice to retrain ourselves with the basics is starting to show its effect, Naruto said as he stands up. He turns and looks at the tree they were using to climb. He managed to get halfway up. It's been 4 years since he did tree climbing, yet he was actually having a hard time. Naruto was also beginning to see other benefits in tree climbing. It improved stamina and actually kept his mind busy. What are you thinking, Naruto? Kyoko asks. I'm thinking that by tonight we'll be able to climb to the top. We need a bigger challenge. Naruto paused as he recalls his early chakra training exercise. Naruto bends down and picks up a green leaf and puts it on his forehead. Using his chakra, he tried to make it stick, only for the leaf to crumble by the chakra he released. Naruto, that's brilliant. Adding a leaf increases focus training to chakra control. Not many shinobis can do this. They normally have to stop and regroup to come up with a new strategy. If we do this while in the midst of battle, then we can stop the enemy's movements and prevent them from regrouping, Kyoko said. She bends down and picks up a leaf. For a while, the two of them were focusing on controlling their chakra on the leaf. It took Kyoko nearly 10 minutes before she manages to hold the leaf on her forehead. She turns to her tree and starts climbing. Naruto slows his breathing and tries to find his center like Genkai taught him. After nearly a minute of mediating, Naruto was finally able to get his leaf to stay put without it falling off or crumbling. Naruto finally turns his attention to the tree and runs forward, his feet sticking to the tree. Kakashi walks towards the training area to see Naruto and Kyoko running up the trees. It was then he paused as he realized something was different about them. They weren't making it as far as they used to. Kakashi watches patiently as they mark their position before jumping back down. It was then he saw the answer to his question. They were using a leaf on their forehead as they stopped to catch their breath. So they've decided to make their training harder by adding a handicap to themselves. This will be difficult for them. However, it will make them at least 3 times stronger than when they arrived in Wave. In fact, when I get back to Konoha, I should do the same thing. I'm surprised no one has thought of this before. Talk about being creative and becoming stronger. Then again, those two have the motivation to become stronger. Naruto wants to become Hokage while Kyoko is chasing after Itachi. Neither is letting up and thinking of ways to get stronger every day. This creative thinking will make them stronger by the week's end. Alright, you two, take a break. You haven't eaten anything at all since last night, and you've been training all day. I'm willing to bet since the crack of dawn. Come here, I brought a meal, Kakashi said, holding up a pair of bentos in his hands. Naruto and Kyoko were panting and fell on the ground instead. Did they overdid it? Kakashi says nothing more but walks forward as their leaf falls from their foreheads. They were sweating heavily that their forehead protectors untie themselves and fall on the ground in front of them. Kakashi says nothing as he hands them their lunch. They took it and open it up. Grilled fish and rice. They look up at Kakashi with raised eyebrow. Given how much limited our resources are in the area, you're going to have to accept what we have. You can't afford to be picky, Kakashi said. They said nothing more as they ate their food in silence. The days passed and none of the genins trained harder than Naruto and Kyoko. With the bridge nearly complete, Naruto and Kyoko were resting due to the fact that was exhausted from all the training exercise they've been doing. Nothing we can do. Those two have been pushing themselves past their limits. They need the rest. The rest of us will head to the bridge, Kakashi said as he leads Team 7 and Team 9 to the bridge. Naruto woke up to the sound of the door downstairs being busted open. He bolts up and quickly gets his things. He put on his shirt as he rushed down the stairs to see Inari crying. Naruto looks through the broken door to see 2 men with swords dragging a tide tsunami across the docks. Naruto didn't even hesitate. He pulls a kunai to his left and 4 shurikens in his fight. He charges forward and cuts the rope that tied Tsunami to her captures. Naruto spins around and flicks his shurikens into one of the samurais. He brings his sword up to block them, managing to block one, but the others pierce through his chest as he coughs out blood before falling to the ground dead. Teen, who do you think you are? The thug shouted as he unsheathes his sword. Naruto brings out his tanto and blocks the blow meant for him. He deflects blow after blow before kicking the thug in the stomach, causing him to stumble backward. The thug grins his teeth as he holds his sword up to him. Never fought a shinobi before? Naruto said in amusement. The thug didn't respond. He merely grins his teeth. Let me give you some advice. Never turn your back to one, Naruto said as he spots Kyoko releasing some shurikens towards the thug. No way I'm going to fall for he said as the shurikens pierce him in the back, causing him to cough out blood before falling down on the ground. Return to your house and stay there. The enemy is making their move today. That means they're going to attack the bridge, Naruto said as he takes off. Kyoko runs up beside him. The enemy is making their move. That means the bridge is going to get it, she said. I know. I'll move in first. You stick to the shadows and wait for your opening. If we both attack, we just be wasting time and energy, Naruto said as he leaps on the tree and quickly makes his way to the bridge. Sasuke-kun, Sakura screamed as she watches the masked shinobi literally tear apart Sasuke like he was nothing. The attack ended as Sasuke falls to his knees with blood splattering all over him. Sasuke-kun, don't lose to a guy like that, Sakura shouted. Sakura, don't encourage him, Kakashi shouted. Sakura looks at Kakashi in surprise. That boy is far stronger than Sasuke. Also, unlike any genins here, that boy has what it takes to carry out his mission. What do you mean, sensei? Sakura asks. That boy has what it to complete the hardest part of being a shinobi. To kill another. I can tell just by looking at him, he has killed others before. This will not be easy for Sasuke to overcome, Kakashi stated. That's right. And you can't rush off to help him either, Kakashi. If you do, then you leave the remainder Gakis and that other Jonin at my mercy. You have to meet me head on. How will you manage that, Kakashi? This is my terrain, Zabuza replies. Kakashi narrows his eye. I could leave things to Kanbei, however. I doubt he would be a match for Zabuza. Kanbei's real specialty is defensive jutsu. However, I would be a fool to rely on luck to deal with this situation. I know this sucks, but I have to deal with Zabuza. Kanbei, use your jutsus to protect Tazuna. Byakuya, you and the rest of Team 9 form the Manji formation around Tazuna, Kakashi said as he grabs his forehead protector and prepares to reveal his Sharingan eye. Zabuza narrows his eyes and shunsins immediately towards Kakashi. Unraveling a kunai from his back pouch and thrust it forward, Kakashi saw it at the last second, brings his right hand to let the kunai impale his palm. The same trick again. Is the Sharingan the only thing you rely on, Hatake Kakashi? Or would you prefer Copy Ninja? Zabuza said. Kakashi moves to the left, allowing Zabuza to lunge forward. Spinning around, Kakashi gives Zabuza a swift kick in the gut, causing him to slide backward. Kakashi removes the kunai from his hand as he stands up straight. Zabuza, you're the first opponent to see my Sharingan a second time. Also, you're going to learn firsthand why I'm the top shinobi in Konoha. You're going to realize, Kakashi said as he unravels his Sharingan. I'm not that easy to take down, and I'm the last opponent you want as your enemy. I know about the Sharingan, Kakashi, Zabuza stated. I had Haku watch and study our battle to a great extent. He does have good analyzing skills. So I know, Hatake Kakashi. You cannot see into the future, and you can't read my mind. Also, you merely copy jutsu by copying the movements of your opponents. So if you can't see, you can't copy, Zabuza stated. Haku came out of his eyes and stood before Sasuke. Sakura was looking worried. She grabs a kunai, launches it at Haku. Zabuza didn't even bother to stop it. He had an amusing look in his eye as the kunai sailed past him. Sasuke-kun! Sakura shouted. Haku suddenly grabs the kunai as it was about to impale him. Sakura looked shocked and was in disbelief at what she saw. Haku didn't even look to grab the kunai. Haku flips the kunai in his hands as he prepared to strike Sasuke with it. Haku's hand was hit by a shuriken, causing the kunai to fly out of his hand. Haku turns at the direction of the shuriken only for a swift knee in the face to hit him in full force, causing him to fly backward and crash hard onto the ground. You're looking worse for wear, Sasuke, Naruto said as he stood before Sasuke. Naruto, Sasuke said. He struggles to stand up but was having trouble. Naruto offers his hand and Sasuke looked at Naruto before his gives a TCH and slaps Naruto's hand away. I don't need your help, Sasuke said as he slowly gets back to his feet. That Gaki, Zabuza said looking back at the commotion. Zabuza narrows his eyes. He's the Gaki who saw through my tactic earlier. Perhaps I should eliminate him. Zabuza grabs his Kubikiri Bocho and was prepared to strike Naruto down until he heard a sudden movement behind him. Without turning his head, he looks back to see Kakashi standing there. Damn him. I can't attack that Gaki without Kakashi getting in the way. If I attempt to attack that Gaki, Kakashi will charge at me. Judging by his Shunshin abilities, he will be able to overrun me even if I use Shunshin. Zabuza looks at Haku, who got back to his feet. You're pathetic, Haku, letting a Gaki like that get the best of you. Where is the girl? Zabuza asks. Naruto, where is Kyoko? Kakashi called out. She stayed behind to protect Tsunami and Inari, Naruto said. Zabuza narrows his eyes. He reaches into his back pocket and pulls out some shurikens. Do you think you can fool me? Zabuza said, throwing his shurikens at the bridge wall. Before the shurikens could hit the wall, a figure jumps out the way and lands near Haku's ice mirrors. Genjutsu. Pretty good level for a Gaki your age. I almost didn't detect it. However, in the mist, everything becomes clear to me. Also, it's hard for Genjutsu to manifest inside the Kirigakyu no Jutsu. Hidden mist technique, Zabuza stated. Kyoko stands up and pulls out a kunai. She stood before Zabuza without showing an ounce of fear inside of her. So much for that plan, Kyoko said as she looks at Zabuza. It wasn't a bad plan. However, before the Kirigakyu no Jutsu, hidden mist technique, Genjutsus cannot take effect. Kyoko, Help Naruto and Sasuke. Leave Zabuza to me, Kakashi said as his Sharingan begins to shine through the mist. Kyoko said nothing as she takes off towards the mirrors while forming hand seals. Haku was beginning to stand up. Katon, Gokakyu no Jutsu. Fire style. Great fireball technique, Kyoko said as she releases a fireball from her mouth as it heads towards the ice. The ice took the fireball for several seconds before Kyoko ended it. She looks in amazement as the ice didn't even have a crack on it. It still looked brand new. Kyoko! That Hayaton is a Kekii Genkai that combines water and wind. A Katon Jutsu of that caliber will not be enough to bring it down, Kakashi shouted. He's right. My Kekii Genkai allows the combination of water and wind to combine and make ice. At your levels, you'll never be able to reach me, Haku stated as he walks forward and merges with his ice. His reflections soon appear in the mirror before he quickly disappeared. Sasuke screams as Saban enters his back before he falls on the ground. Sasuke was on the ground twitching as he tried to get back up. This is my true speed. Can you keep up? Haku said as he launches more senbons. Naruto slows his breathing and closes his eyes. Like a radar, he could see where all the senbons were coming from. Also, it was slow but he could see the pathway Haku was using to jump between the mirrors. I can see! Haku looks up to see a fireball heading towards him. He turns and looks at Kyoko looking at him. Haku flips and dodges the fireball before landing back into the safety of the mirrors. She was able to track my movements with my speed. Impossible, Haku thought as he studies Kyoko. He then takes a step back inside his mirror at what he saw. Red eyes with two Tomo. Sharingan. Now I see. She's a Kekii Genkai wielder as well. The Sharingan can track their opponent's movements. Meaning the longer this battle goes, the worse it will get for me. This jutsu consumes a lot of chakra. The odds of winning are slim against the Sharingan. That means to win, I have to target him, Haku thought as he turns to Naruto. Haku leaps out of his mirror and charges at Naruto. Naruto's senses were on high alert. He suddenly detected movement heading straight for him. Naruto leaps to the side and forms some seals before releasing a fireball from his mouth just as Haku was attempting to fly back into the mirror. Haku saw the fireball coming at him, averts his course and dodges the fireball only to look up to see another fireball heading for him. This one was sent by Kyoko that was heading straight for Haku's path. Haku flips in the air to avoid it, though a small piece of the fireball manages to graze his pants. He responds by flicking a senbon to Kyoko. Kyoko moved out the way just in time as the senbon hits the ground. Haku enters his upper mirror and took the time to assess the situation. Those two have excellent teamwork. That boy, he was able to dodge my attack perfectly and throw a counter-attack just as quick. Aiming for my path at once. There is no mistaking it. No wonder why he's staying inside with confidence inside the middle of my mirror dome. He's a sensor type. Haku brings up more senbons and looks at Naruto and Kyoko carefully. The girl can see my movements. The boy can sense my attacks. I cannot fight them much longer. I'm at a disadvantage. The only advantage I have is that boy, Haku thought as he looks at Sasuke, who was on the verge of passing out. They are talent, yet highly inexperienced. Perhaps I should have killed them back in the forest. It was a mistake to let them go. Haku ends his thought and rushes out of his mirror before heading straight for Sasuke. Naruto and Kyoko realized at once what Haku was doing and rushed in to intercept Haku's attack. Naruto reached Haku first and tries to punch Haku, but Haku dodges before kicking Naruto in the stomach. Naruto flies back just as Haku moves in for the kill. Kyoko grabs a kunai and attempts to slash at Haku. Haku, however, dodges it and releases a volley of senbon at Kyoko. Kyoko attempts to dodge, but two senbon enters her neck and she falls down to the ground with her eyes closed. Haku quickly retreats back into his mirror. She fought worthy to be a shinobi. Now, to deal with, Haku thought, but was interrupted by the sudden burst of chakra that erupted. He turns his attention to Naruto, where dangerous dark crimson chakra started to surround his body. His face started to turn feral and more canine. Naruto's white hair started to move back and forth as if a powerful gust of wind was blowing. His blue eyes turned red with black slits. Who is this boy? This chakra doesn't feel normal at all. He has a huge thirst for blood. It's almost as if this chakra has a mind of its own. This is not the same boy I faced just moments ago. Kakashi and Zabuza sensed the growing chakra. Zabuza was left pondering about whose chakra it was, while Kakashi looked a bit worried as he looked in Naruto's direction. Naruto charged forward with amazing speed, heading straight for Haku. Haku had no choice but to quickly jump to another mirror to avoid the impact. Naruto's fist collides with the ice, shattering it to pieces. Haku looks up from above. His strength has improved. So has his speed. In that case, let's try this, Haku thought as he spread clones throughout his mirrors. They all fired senbons at Naruto as they pierce him in the back. Naruto let out a cry before he thrust his arms up and lets out a powerful shockwave of chakra, throwing the senbons off of him. The echoing blast of chakra was enough to dispel Haku's clones before revealing Haku himself. Haku was covering his face from the chakra that was being released before he looks up to see Naruto charging at him. Haku realized he couldn't dodge in time as Naruto's fist collide with the ice mirror and shatters it. Haku remains in the mirror until Naruto slowly comes to the ground before he jumps out with a kunai he had collected from earlier and prepares to impale Naruto with it. He leaps out and was about to put the blade in the back of Naruto's head when suddenly, red chakra appeared and prevented the kunai from sinking into the back of Naruto's head. Impossible! The red chakra is protecting him. Like some coated armor. Naruto lands on the ground and spins around. This is bad, I have to retreat, Haku realized as he tried to return to his mirrors. Naruto hand shot out and grasped his wrist, nearly breaking it, causing Haku to drop the kunai. Haku realized he couldn't escape and the battle wasn't going as he expected. He forms a one-hand ram seal in hopes to use his chakra to shield and press from the violent red chakra that was mere inches from him. Naruto lets out another cry and red chakra erupted in the dome like a tidal wave in Haku's face. Haku knew if Naruto wasn't holding onto to him he would be flying back from the sheer power of the chakra. It's no good, I cannot hold back his power. Naruto lets out a demonic growl and gathers chakra into his right fist and smashes it into Haku's face. Haku's ANBU mask managed to absorb most of the impact. Nonetheless, he was launched in the air through his own ice mirror before sailing backward. Kakashi was forming hand seals preparing for his signature technique and prepared to kill Zabuza. He was about to launch himself at Zabuza as his ninhounds were holding Zabuza in place. Kakashi suddenly picked up something and he looks to his left just as Haku was launched into him. Kakashi ends his jutsu to grab the boy but was skid back as a result. What a punch. He was nearly knocked unconsciousness. Naruto, Kakashi said as he looks back at the ice dome that was crumbling. The red violent chakra disappeared. Naruto was breathing heavily as he came to. His red eyes changed back to his normal blue ones. He rushes to Kyoko's side and pulls out the samban out of her neck. He quickly checks her pulse before placing his head over her heart. Thump. It was faint but it was there. It's possible she entered a near-death state and couldn't move her body like Zabuza couldn't. Naruto picks her up and carries her on his back towards Kakashi. He prayed Kakashi-sensei finished his fight. From the senses of it, Kakashi had the upper hand. Naruto stops walking when he realized they weren't alone in the mist. He turns around just as the sound of a cane striking the ground could be heard. The mist slowly started clearing, revealing Gato and a large band of thugs near the end of the bridge. Kyuso, why didn't I sense them coming? I should have noticed earlier, Naruto cursed, knowing he was too focused on his fight with the masked boy to realize what was going on around him. He would need more training before he could call himself Hokage. Apparently, Naruto wasn't the only one to notice. Haku stood up as did Kakashi and Zabuza turns around to see the large army of thugs on the bridge. Gato, what are you doing here? Zabuza demanded. My, what is this? The demon of the mist is actually the baby of the mist. You know, Zabuza, hiring official shinobis is so expensive, so I use rogue shinobis like yourself because you're so much cheaper. However, you still cost me so much money, so I've decided a change in plans is needed. I'm not paying you anything. Instead, these fine gentlemen will get paid nicely by me by killing you and that bridge builder. Zabuza narrows his eyes. Kakashi, it would appear I have no reason to fight you anymore, Zabuza stated. Yeah, Kakashi said as he dispels his ninhounds from Zabuza. So this is how you do business. You backstab the people who fight for you, Naruto stated. You shinobis only cost me a fortune. Killing you all will save me all the money I would have spent on Zabuza. That's why, Gato stated, but stopped as he looked into Naruto's cold, murderous glare. Gato takes a step back as he felt suddenly afraid. Flashback. One aspect of the shinobi life is killing other beings. The sooner you get this over with, the sooner you'll get better. One thing you're going to have to learn is what's it like to put your life on the line. This is a basic rule for all shinobis. Down there is a group of bandits that have been raiding nearby villages. Your mission is to kill them, Genkai said, pointing to the settlement of men. I will not assist you. You are to do this on your own. Naruto, Kyoko, and Byakuya all jump down and prepares to kill the bandits. Flashback ends. Naruto sets Kyoko down the ground and was about to charge forward. Don't, Zabuza said. He steps forward as he grips his Kurbikuru Bocho as he steps forward. I was going to kill Gato regardless. However, I should have expected this. Gato used me just as I used Haku. This is the way of the shinobi. That's bullshit, Naruto shouted. You trusted Haku not because he was a tool. Because he was understood your pain. I cannot believe you rid yourself of emotions of attachments, and you don't have a shred of humanity inside of you. Zabuza turns to give Naruto a cold look. Haku looks down knowing this was a tough subject. Naruto, that's enough, Kakashi said. You're saying you have nothing left inside of you. That you have nothing worth fighting for? That you're completely empty inside? I refuse to believe that. I will never become like you. I will continue and fight for my friends. I will not become like you. Who is so empty inside? Naruto stated. There were so many things wrong with this world. It felt like the world was cursed. Naruto, that's too much. Whether you like it or not, this is how the shinobi world works. Kid, you don't have to say anymore, Zabuza said as he looks up to reveal tears coming down his face. There was a time I did have dreams and a desire to fight. I have forgotten it. I rebelled against the Yonde Mizukage to create an idea village. I have forgotten my original purpose. Just this once, I wish to fight alongside you. To keep your innocent heart going for as long as possible. Kakashi, you and your Jonin comrade aid me just this once. In return, I'll tell this Gaki where Gato keeps his money. Naruto removes his tanto and holds it in front of him as Zabuza readies himself. Kanbei walks forward with Kakashi and Haku. The five of them prepared for battle. Gato seemed to realize they were going to fight. He backs away before screaming, "I'll pay 1,000,000 yen to whoever brings me their heads," before running to hide behind the army of thugs. Naruto, Zabuza, Haku, Kakashi, and Kanbei rushed forward. "Alright, 1,000,000 yens. That money is as good as mine," the lead thug said before the shinobis cut through them. It was clear none of them have fought shinobis before and were getting cut down rather quickly. Gato could be heard squealing like a fat pig running for his life as his army of thugs were getting cut down to pieces. When the last thug fell, Gato turns around and started to pale as Zabuza walks forward. "Now Zabuza, be reasonable. I can be quite generous. I'll double your payments if you get me to safety," Gato said nervously. "You can save it. I'm done with you, Gato. You can find yourself a nice bitch, in hell," Zabuza stated before swinging his Kiribokuro, decapitating Gato in half. Gato screams as he falls backward and into the ocean currents below. Naruto turns to look at Sakura, who is crying over Sasuke, only to see a sight that surprises him. The villagers had come and they look like they were prepared to fight. "Did we miss it?" Inari asks. Kakashi sighs as lowers his forehead protector to cover up his Sharingan. True to his word, Zabuza showed Naruto where Gato kept his money. Kakashi sealed it up in scrolls before handing it to Naruto. The townspeople also ransack Gato's luxury home and acquiring everything he has taken from the village. Already the village, the mayor and the daimyo were already having talks of life returning to Wave Country. In Tazuna House, Teams 7 and 9 were joined by Zabuza and Haku, who were eating Tsunami's cooking. The moment they finished, Naruto asked the question that was everyone's mind. "So will you two be joining us in Konoha?" Naruto asked the moment they finished. "I don't know. Will your Hokage accept us?" Zabuza asks. "I'm sure he will," Naruto said. "Is it normal for a rogue shinobi to join another village?" Kyoko asks. Kakashi puts his hands together. "It does happen. Shinobis who've lost faith with their village seek out another village to join. It's a dangerous process. As the shinobi who joins has to formally reject all ties to their former village. I could recommend him to the Hokage. The screening process will determine if he's eligible," Kakashi stated. "He'll join. I'll make sure the old man accepts you," Naruto said as he brings his fist up in triumph. "He's confident, isn't he?" Zabuza stated as he looks at Kakashi. "Well, Hokage-sama does owe Naruto several favors," Kakashi said. Sarutobi Hiruzen. Hailed as the strongest of the Sandaime Kages and one of the most powerful shinobis in the region. "It would be interesting to be a shinobi under his rule," Zabuza stated. "When can we go back?" Sakura asks. "In about a week. Kyoko still can't move her body well. Also, our mission is to stay here until the completion of the bridge," Kakashi stated. "It will be sad to see you go. You've been a super help to the village. I don't know how to thank you enough," Tazuna said. "We must return. The mission is nearly complete and Hokage-sama will be expecting a report," Kakashi stated. "Second chances don't come often. So I'm not going to mess this one up," Zabuza stated. "If you follow the will of fire, then you will see things improve for yourselves," Kakashi stated. Nothing else was said as everyone thought of returning to Konoha. Author notes, "I'm not going to have Naruto OP right from the start. He's going to work towards it. He should be stronger in the next arc. Please share your thoughts and reviews. I do take them into consideration." Chapter 09, Within the Leaf. The return to Konoha was uneventful. Kakashi spends most of his time reading his little orange book while giving out giggles every now and then. Though it was obvious he was trying to have some self-control. Naruto, Kyoko, and Byakuya were all staring at their sensei as if he had another head with the question of what he was reading. The one time they did attempt to buy the book to see what it contained, the store owner kicked them out for even attempting to look at the book. Something about the book meant for people who were 18 years and older. Not meant for young eyes, judging by the way the woman reacted to that book, they were wholeheartedly disgusted by it while some of the men seemed to enjoy it. Zabuza and Haku walked with the group. For Zabuza, he was carrying his Zanbunto Kubikaribocho on his back while Haku was walking with a backpack on his back. Haku was for the most part very quiet. Team 9, however, well Sakura, for the most part, was walking beside Sasuke but also in a way that if Haku and Zabuza should attack, Sasuke would be in the best position to defend her if they decide to turn on them. They reached the gate where 2 Chunins were standing guards. Kakashi-sensei, the trio said, alerting to Kakashi to the gate guards. Huh, Kakashi said as he looks up from his book. Oh. Team 7 and 9 reporting back from their mission. Also, we got 2 renegade shinobis who wished to join the village, Kakashi said. Momomochi Zabuza, one of the Chunin said as he holds his staff in a defensive position. Kakashi sighs, as if this was something he was expecting. Relax, we're taking him to Hokage-sama to see if he could join our village, Kakashi said. Kakashi-san, are you sure that is wise? The Chunin asks. Well, a lot happened on our mission. Hokage-sama will understand, Kakashi stated. I can't just let a rogue shinobi like Momochi Zabuza walking around in our village. I'm sorry, but he needs to be escorted by ANBU, the guard said. That's understandable. He's not here to cause trouble, Kakashi said. The Chunin nods his head and pulls out a whistle and blows. A light sound almost like a bird call could be heard. It took only a second for ANBU to appear. A group of 3 males with 1 female with purple hair appeared, their face hidden by their masks. Momochi Zabuza, one of the ANBU said. Zabuza is here to speak to Hokage-sama about joining our village. He's here under Hospitium rights, Kakashi said. Understood. We'll honor the rights. However, Momochi Zabuza, should you threaten Hokage-sama or threaten the village, we will cut you down immediately, the lead ANBU said, wearing green and red markings on his mask. You can cut the tough guy act. It doesn't work on me. If I was going to do something against your village, you wouldn't see me coming, Zabuza said. The ANBU looks at Zabuza, who glares back with his eyes narrowed. Well, that sums it up. We'll be heading to Hokage-sama to turn in our mission report, Kakashi said, as if this was the outcome he was expecting. The ANBU said nothing as they turned to look at Naruto carefully. They soon disappeared before anyone could blink. They're fast, Naruto realized as he realized the ANBU were gone. He then puts his hands into a half-ram seal to search for them. They're good. I can't sense their presence any longer. Yet I know they're nearby. I can't believe they're able to evade my sensory skills. Perhaps I should look into subtlety skills as well. It's damn useful, Naruto bows his head as he puts his head down. Genkai said I was at a Chunin level when I left her training. However, I am still far behind. I have to get stronger. The group walked forward towards the Hokage Tower. When they arrived at the Hokage Tower, Naruto took note of the amount of ANBU in the area. Is this really necessary? Naruto asks. Zabuza has attacked his own Kage before. Even though he wants to join Konoha, the ANBU will take no chances of letting him assassinate the Hokage, Kakashi said. Precaution until certainly works here, Naruto, Kakashi said as they walked in. They entered the office to see ANBU station at the entrance before walking inside. To see a squad of ANBU inside as well. The ANBU from the gates were inside. Well now, Team 7, Team 9. You've had an interesting mission. Team Ro was just telling me some interesting things. About how Momochi Zabuza wishes to join our village. The Sandaime Hokage said as he takes a puff of his pipe before exhaling a small puff of smoke out of his mouth. Well, you can say it was very interesting, Kakashi said as Zabuza looks at the Sandaime Hokage carefully with careful narrowed eyes. Explain. The third orders, it was not a request. So Kakashi did, explaining everything that transpired in Wave and the mission. How Gato was choking the life and economy of Wave to its breaking point. How he hired Zabuza to kill their client. After 2 confrontations, Gato attempted to betray Zabuza and have them all killed. How it was Naruto's suggestion to allow Zabuza and Haku to join the village to allow them a place to call home, and to prevent them from being hunted further by the hunter Nines of Kiri. Interesting. And most unusual. Tell me this, Momochi Zabuza, why did you attempt to assassinate the Yondaime Mizukage? The Sandaime Hokage asks. You've heard the things he's done. So, it shouldn't be that surprising. He plunged our village into darkness. However, Zabuza stated before he stops. However? The Sandaime Hokage repeated with curious. I probably shouldn't say anything. I know Kirigakure wants this to be kept secret as much as possible, only known to a selected few. If outside parties knew, then rest assured Kirigakure will take action. Everyone looked at Zabuza carefully. Zabuza-san, what are you saying? Haku asks. I'm not surprised you don't know Haku. You never grew up in the village or was a part of the village in the first place. Nor a part of the shinobi hierarchy. You see, There were rumors the Yandere Mizukichi was being controlled by another party. Zabuza stated. Controlled? Kakashi repeated. I know Kirigakure is very secretive. During his early reign, the Yandere Mizukichi ruled as fairly as he could. For a time, he was a fair ruler. Then one day, everything changed. Kirigakure was plunged into civil war. The Yandere Mizukichi's actions were also suspicious. Not just to his rivals who were fighting against him, but also within the ANBU and the Kirin no Shinobigatanashu, 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist. Zabuza paused as if he was reflecting what was going on during those days. I wasn't the only one who was against the Yandere Mizukichi's reign, nor the only one to attempt to assassinate him. He's faced many people who sought to end his rule. There were those who sought out the person who was controlling the Yandere Mizukichi. However, as far as I know, all search for this mystery individual has ended up in failure. What do you know about this puppet master? The Sandaime Hokage asks. Not much, I'm afraid. Only that he seems to understand the village's security, and is able to slip in and out without being seen. Some people in my village refer to him as a ghost. The Sandaime Hokage takes another puff of smoke before letting it out. I'll have you go under questioning by Inoichi before admitting you to the village. In the meantime, Team 7 and Team 9 are allowed to take a couple days' break before returning to duty. The Sandaime Hokage said. Thank goodness. Sasuke-kun, do you want to go out to eat? Sakura asks her love, but Sasuke turns around to leave with Sakura following. Hai turns around as if he was annoyed once more by Sakura's attempts at seducing her crush. Hai quickly leaves himself. Kakashi-sensei, are there ways we can train to become stronger? Naruto asks. Kyoko was also looking at Kakashi with a somewhat interested look in her eyes. Kakashi sighs as he looks at his students. They had a couple days to rest, and the first thing they wanted to do was training. Kakashi half wondered if he was being punished for his laziness. Alright, I'll have you do some laps. Laps? Naruto repeated. This time with weights. You guys need to become faster. You have amazing skills, but you won't grow just by doing basic training. Doing weights as you train will make you stronger and faster. Kakashi said. I'll train them for a bit if you want. Besides, I'm going to teach them certain of my trademarks for saving me. It's the least I can do, Zabuza stated. If things go well, Zabuza will meet you guys tomorrow at Training Ground 7. 6 o'clock, Kakashi said. His students look at him with careful eyes. What? Kakashi asked. Sensei, it's your duty to show Zabuza around the village, Kyoko said. You also cannot be late, Sensei, Naruto added. Huh, Kakashi said as he realized what he was getting himself into. The next day, Naruto and Kyoko were waiting at Training Ground 7. Byakuya went home to his clan's home to undergo his own training. Yo! Kakashi said as he walks forward carrying a bag. Zabuza was walking with Kakashi along with another shinobi who was wearing a bowl-cut hairstyle, and a green jumpsuit with orange legging on each leg. Hello, students of my eternal rival. I am the blue beast of Konoha. Meito Guy. He said as he stood at a nice guy pose with a thumb up with a large smile as his teeth seemed to shine in glory. Kakashi gives a long sigh as Naruto and Kyoko could have sworn a sunset with ocean waves appeared behind Guy. They rubbed their eyes to make sure it wasn't a genjutsu. It was still there for a strange reason. Naruto and Kyoko brought their hands up and said Kai to release the genjutsu, yet it still remains there. Kakashi gives another long sigh as turns his fellow jonin. Guy, I'm here to train them, Kakashi said. Really? Then I have the perfect gifts for them to help them train, Guy said as he reaches back into his back pouch and pulls out 2 green jumpsuits. Your own personal training suit. Flexible and easy to wear. You'll see a guaranteed improvement, Guy said. He's joking, right? Zabuza said, turning to Kakashi. I wish he was, Kakashi said in defeat. You don't like my gifts? Guy said, staring at Naruto and Kyoko, who stared back as if Guy was insane. Guy, this is a training session. Can't you let me train them? Kakashi half begged. Training is for the springtime of youth, Guy shouted at the top of his voice. He then reaches into his back pouch again and pulls out a pair of leg weights. This will allow you to become stronger and faster, Guy said. Weights? Zabuza said. He's a bit of a fanatic when it comes to physical training, Kakashi explains to Zabuza. Naruto and Kyoko put on the weights knowing it would increase their stamina and create resistance in their movements. Alright, time for training. The best way to train is to return to basics. Learning advanced technique will not always save you. However, in this case, you will be returning to basics while wearing chest weights and leg weights. This will improve your physical training. While for chakra training, you two are to run with a leaf on your forehead, Kakashi said as he places a leaf on their forehead. Want to explain why such handicaps? Zabuza asked. You know as well as I do, Zabuza, not many shinobis have the capability of focusing and channeling their chakras in the middle of battle. In most cases, shinobis have to fall back and regroup to gather their chakra. This type of training may seem hard in advance for them, but I know they can pull it off, Kakashi said. Zabuza said nothing as he sits down to watch. Naruto and Kyoko immediately put on the weights before taking off running. They continued to run laps at a much slower pace than what they were used to. After their 30th lap, they stopped to breathe and catch their breath. Both of them were sweating and exhausted. Alright, you can take a 5-minute break. Afterward, I'm going to teach you kids some stealth techniques. These are techniques I have perfected over the years, and with practice, you should be just as good. Zabuza. Hey Zabuza, Naruto said as he turns to Zabuza for something that bugged him. What is it? Zabuza asked. What did the old man make you do in return for staying in the village? Naruto asks. Oh, that, I trained his best ANBU in some of my techniques, such as water, stealth, and concealment, Zabuza said. Naruto nods his head and gets ready to begin his training lesson. A couple days later, Team 7 was in the mission room where Hokage-sama was sitting. Trouble with bandits near our western borders? Kakashi said. He picks up the map and mission request and reads carefully. That's correct. Villagers have been coming into our village telling me of how their villages are forced protection fees, yet there are disturbing reports about these bandits' motives. Why a team of genins? Shouldn't a team of jonins or chunins handle this? Kakashi asked. I would send chunins or at least a jonin to this situation if I had any to spare. Many of them are out on missions and I can't send them to this area without putting their own missions at risk. I would send Zabuza, but his reputation wouldn't be best for the situation. Besides, he's training your own team right now. That leaves you, Kakashi? The third said. Understood. Leave with haste, Kakashi. The clock is against us here, the third said. Kakashi nods his head. Team 7 turns and prepares to head towards the western borders. Chapter 10 Azura. Team 7 walked out the west gate and headed west towards the borders. Things were pretty mellow on the way to the village. As Kakashi explains, it was important to find out what the bandits wanted and where they come from. The villagers would have information without even realizing it. As they were most likely going to be fighting bandits with the possibility of fighting some shinobis, they came prepared, bringing with them a large number of shurikens and kunais. With the village getting insight, Team 7 was getting ready to get some rest. That was until Kakashi suddenly stops, causing his students to stop as well. They looked at him and Kakashi looked very serious. Kakashi sniffs the air and he narrows his only visible eye. There are dead bodies up ahead, Kakashi suddenly said. Team 7 looks at Kakashi as if wondering how he could be so sure. Naruto closes his eyes and focuses on his sensing skills. There was no one in the village. There was no indication of chakra inside the village. Kakashi rushes forward to check the village. Team 7 follows behind, trying to keep up with Kakashi's speed. When Team 7 reached the edge of the village, they stopped at a sickening sight. Villagers lay dead all around the streets, and inside their homes and shops. The men were cut apart, and children showed signs of being mauled. Crows were pecking at their bodies. The worst was the women. The women in the village, from teenagers to adults, showed signs of being raped and ravished. Many of them were naked. Few had clothes on, but it seemed all the women received the same treatment. It appeared that during their rapes they impaled them with swords before doing the same with another woman. Kyoko stares at the scene in front of her. The dead filling the streets reminded her too much of the Uchiha clan massacre. The bodies inside the homes and shops were too much to bear. The difference was, Itachi had been more merciful. He didn't violate their bodies in any way. He just killed his clan. It was unlike the current scene of the violated women who lay dead before them. Kakashi stops and inspects the body carefully. They've been dead for over a day, Kakashi said. We have to bury them, Kakashi said to his team. Team 7 nods their head but tried to hold their stomach. They all felt the urge to vomit at the sight of the countless dead. Naruto created a couple dozen kage bunshins as they began to work with carrying the bodies where some of his clones began to dig graves. Naruto sat on top of the roof observing the work. He honestly couldn't believe people would do that to other people. He thought he had it tough, but he's never been violated before. Naruto closes his eyes and tries to sense his area. He could sense the wind blowing and a sudden feel of chakra to the east. In Konoha's mountain inside a cave. Judging by their chakras, he had no doubt these were the bandits that attacked the village. Naruto gets up and takes off heading towards the bandits' hideouts. Kakashi summons his Niken and they all gathered around him. Kakashi, it's been a while since you summoned us? Not since your fight with Zabuza. Want to tell me what is going on? Pakken stated. Well, I'm sure with your noses that you can already tell what happened here and why I need you. I need you to sniff out the enemy and tell me their location, Kakashi said in a calm voice. The smell of the dead is terrible, Kakashi. So what happened? Pakken asks. Apparently a group of bandits raided this village and killed its residents. I need to know where they went, Kakashi said. Alright, we'll sniff around and attempt to give you a trial, Pakken said as the Nikken began walking around the village. Barely 5 seconds passed when Pakken returns. Kakashi, I found their scent. However, another person's scent is heading towards them. Judging from the person's scent, I would have to say it's Naruto, Pakken said. Naruto? Kakashi said in surprise. Is Naruto's sensing skills so adept that he can sense the bandits from long distances? He's not even reached maturity yet with his chakra. Naruto will become a powerful shinobi one day. I have no time to think, I must get to him. Kakashi turns to Pakken. Pakken, lead the way. I have to reach Naruto first. Understood, follow me, Pakken said as he turns and takes off. Naruto was running so fast he could feel the wind blowing in his face. He didn't stop, all he could think about was killing the bandits that killed all those people. The images of the dead filled Naruto's eyes. Naruto got close and drew his tanto. He could see a large number of them gathering in the cave around a fire. They all seemed to be in good spirits and were drinking sake. Many were cheering and laughing as they were starting to become too drunk to stand straight. Naruto holds his tanto in front of him and running at full speed shoves the blade into the closest bandit within his reach. The blade sank into his flesh with ease. Naruto lands on top of the now dead body. Who is that? One of the bandits shouted as everyone turns to the commotion. Naruto stands up and withdraws his blade. He looks at them carefully. It's just a kid. I thought we killed all of them. Seems we missed one, another said with a smug look on his face. They started pulling out weapons but many were too drunk to stand properly. Naruto moved in on the attack. He cuts through the bandits and started moving like a blur. It was clear most of these bandits never fought a shinobi before. Or at the very least, didn't know how to use chakra. One bandit, however, seemed to have finally realized that Naruto wasn't an ordinary kid. He suddenly charged forward with such speed Naruto was forced to bring his tanto up to block the hidden dagger that would have punctured his skull. You're not from the village, the bandit said in as he looks at Naruto. You're a shinobi from Konoha. It seems the little fox sent out a call for help to the great and mighty Konohagakure. You're a genin. It doesn't matter, you can't defeat the Gonzo bandits, he said as he kicks Naruto, sending him flying out the cave. Naruto skids across the ground before coming to a stop. Naruto quickly stands up and analyzes the situation. There was a total of 5 of them left. Naruto could sense 4 of them couldn't use chakra and were cheap thugs. The one in the middle who was calmly walking out and pulls out a sword from his back steps forward. Naruto narrows his eyes as he looks at him. There was no mistaking it. This guy was a former shinobi. I'm surprised a genin like you are as talented as you are. You're fast for your age, however, you're not fast enough. I fought in the 3rd Great Shinobi War. I was a former jonin of Iwagakure. You're out of your league, kid. Though you can't be here alone. I take it your team is back in the village and you came alone because your anger got the best of you. It doesn't matter, he said before he disappears. Naruto eyes open wide as the nuke slices him through his torso. The guy had a grin on his face believing he killed the genin. That was when a puff of smoke appeared revealing a log. His eyes open wide and he quickly looks around him for Naruto. Naruto was high above and quickly pulls out his shurikens and launches them at the remaining bandits. They never saw the incoming projectiles and quickly fell before the unseen shurikens. Naruto raises his blade and swings, hoping to hit the nuke but as he swung, the nuke vanished and reappeared behind Naruto. So predictable, he said as he shoves his sword through Naruto's heart. Naruto disappeared in a puff of smoke. Kage Bunshin, he said just as a blade enters his chest and pokes out. The nuke eyes were open wide as he turns back to Naruto. Gonzo will kill you for this, he said as Naruto places his hand on the blade and cuts through his chest. Naruto stood over his now corpse, not even caring that his opponent's blood had splattered itself all over him. It even got in his hair, and it slowly drips down. Naruto was going to need a bath. Naruto turns to walk away but suddenly his senses went on high alert. Naruto turns and brings his blade up to block a punch. The sound of metal hitting metal echoed in the area. Naruto quickly realized the attacker was wearing braced knuckles. He also had a nasty look on his face as he looks at Naruto. Naruto turns to see a punch from the person's left fist was coming right at him. Naruto couldn't block it. He had only one choice. Naruto closed his eyes and began to focus. It was a technique he practices so much but has never truly perfected. Naruto quickly gathers his chakra and just as the punch was about to hit him, Naruto shunshin's body flicker away on a boulder a good 5 meters away from his attacker. His attack had his fist up as he missed a hit. Then he stands up and looks at Naruto. He dressed like a bandit but it was clear he was highly skilled and experienced. You are no ordinary genin. I have killed hundreds of genins and none of them have ever dodged my attacks. He stated slowly. My punches are normally one-hit kills. You did well to recognize the danger. I see you rely on speed. Most impressive, however, he said as he vanished. Naruto looks up and sees he was right above him. Naruto shunshins away just as the punch hit the boulder. Naruto lands on the ground back to the original spot. Naruto watched in amazement that the boulder was shattered immediately upon impact. I can't take a hit from one of those punches. Judging by his speed alone, he is more than capable of moving faster than me. I won't have time to use any ninjutsu or genjutsu either. Kage Bunshin is also out, as he would simply destroy them quickly. That means I have to use Kawarimi, body replacement, no jutsu and shunshin. I have to use these two techniques to create an opening. Naruto couldn't think anymore, for at that moment, Gonzo attacked him with high speed. Naruto was quick and quickly uses the Kawarimi just as Gonzo hits him and quickly shunshins behind him. Gonzo turns and blocks the blow with his metal bracers and quickly punches Naruto. Only for Naruto to disappear in a puff of smoke and Log to appear in his place. Gonzo quickly jumps aside as Naruto shunshins in an attempt to cut through his abdomen. Gonzo knees Naruto in the gut only for Naruto to again disappear in a puff of smoke and a log appeared with an exploding tag. Gonzo opens his eyes wide just as the log let out a huge flash of light, momentarily blinding him. Naruto reappears and attempts to cut through Gonzo's neck. Gonzo's eyes quickly adjusted to the area properly, and see Naruto's blade aimed at his neck. His years of experience quickly recovers and brings his arm up to block the blow. He quickly brings his hand and grabs Naruto by his head. He raises Naruto up high before slamming Naruto down on the rocky ground. Naruto was bleeding as he looked up to see Gonzo standing before him. I was right, you're not ordinary genin. You almost had me. You have impressive speed. I would say you're nearly at a jonin fighting level. Impressive for a boy your age. You would have been a great shinobi had you simply stayed away. What's your name, boy? Gonzo asks. Naruto said nothing as he looks at Gonzo with unblinking eyes. He showed him no fear. Can't speak. No matter, I'll make sure to finish you off before you can feel a thing. Gonzo said as he reaches back and throws a fist at Naruto. Before his fist could make an impact, Gonzo's eyes went wide with shock as a blade was shoved into his throat. Gonzo falls to his knees choking on his blood and from his wound. He reaches up and grabs Naruto who was behind him. Gonzo holds a tight grip on Naruto's head trying to squeeze it. Naruto said nothing as he was squeezed when it finally became too much to handle. Naruto dispels in a puff of smoke. Naruto places his hand on the ground and stands up. He staggers a bit before he successfully climbs to his feet. Naruto calms his breathing and looks at Gonzo. I already knew I could never defeat you in a one-on-one fight. After my flash tag exploded I had a Kage Bunshin hit as I attacked. I didn't counter knowing the only way you would lower your guard, and for my Kage Bunshin to strike you from behind. It meant I would have to deal with some damage, but it was the only way to defeat you. Had I used my Kage Bunshin, it would have been a waste of chakra. You're right, I'm no ordinary genin, I'm the shinobi, who will claim the title Hokage. Naruto said as he brings his blade up. Ajura, Gonzo said as he looks at Naruto. These were the last words he spoke as Naruto blade decapitates him, separating his head from his body. Naruto looks at the dead bodies and knew he had to return to his team. He had wasted half his chakra and taken a heavy blow to the head. He was going to need a lot of rest to recover from this. Naruto's senses again went off, warning him of incoming danger. Naruto looks up and sees something head towards him. It almost appeared like water. Like a wave of water heading towards him. Only it was very bright red. Naruto shunshins away, not trusting himself to get hit by the incoming attack. It was a good thing too, the moment the strange red liquid hit the rocky terrain, everything started hissing and being melted. Naruto lands on a boulder and surveys the damage. It's not acid. But it does melt whatever it touches. Lava. That means it's a Kekkai Genkai ability. Naruto looks up and sees a girl not much older than him looking at him. She was wearing a red outfit with a lapel that covered her right arm. Oh, you dodged that well? Are you a sensor type? The girl asks. What is a stone shinobi doing all the way out here? Why did she even attack me in the first place? Naruto as he looked at his current predicament. She smirks as she looks at Naruto. She quickly forms hand seals and jumps up, launching more lava from her mouth at Naruto. Naruto forms his own hand seals and releases a jet of water from his mouth. Suetun, Mizurappa. Water release, raging wave. Naruto's water hits the lava slowly its trajectory as it lands on the ground and starts steaming. The girl lands on the ground but Naruto quickly shunshins to her and strikes hard. She was forced to bring a pair of kunais out to block Naruto's attack and to prevent his blade from taking her head. Naruto was about to kick her when suddenly he senses another presence. He turns to see another stone shinobi, a jonin by the looks of it, prepared to strike him down with a sword. At that very moment, just before the sword could pierce Naruto, Kakashi appears with a lightning-enhanced kunai and cuts the sword. Kakashi lands on the ground, and before the jonin could register what just happened, Kakashi spins and kicks him in the stomach, sending him skidding backward. "Kuratsuchi!" he shouted as the girl nods her head and jumps to him. "Kakashi-sensei," Naruto said as he stands up. "Kakashi? Hatake Kakashi?" the jonin said as he took the time to realize who his opponent was. "Naruto, you're so focused on the battle you failed to notice what's around you. Take a moment to see who is here," Kakashi stated. Naruto did so, and he quickly registers the chakras around him. A squad of stone shinobis was around him. Kakashi narrows his eye as he looks at the jonin in front of him. "So, what are stone shinobis doing in Fire Country? You are aware of the treaty between our two villages," Kakashi called out. The girl, Kuratsuchi, made to say something, but the jonin holds his hand out in front of her, prevent her from speaking. "We apologize for attacking your shinobi. We believed he may have been a part of Gonzo's gang. You see, Gonzo is a former shinobi of our village, and we've been sent to either capture him or kill him. As Gonzo is from our village, I trust you'll allow us to collect his body as it contains many secrets," he said. This was clearly a loud of bull if Harry has ever heard it. "Very well," Kakashi said. "Come, Naruto," Kakashi said as he turns to walk away. Naruto follows. The moment they were out of earshot, Naruto spoke. "They're lying, Kakashi-sensei. I know. However, unless we want a war with IWA, we can only accept their answer. We'll inform Hokage-sama of this and see if we can put some diplomatic pressure on IWA," Kakashi said. By the looks of things, these bandits were paid by IWA to raid our borders, Kakashi realized. It took a week to bury the bodies. Afterward, Kakashi had the village burned down as no one would be living here. Then came the march back to Konoha. Naruto quickly cleaned himself and was wearing his spare clothes, as his clothes were covered in blood. They reached back to Konoha and Kakashi turned in his mission report. The Sandaime listens carefully to the report. "Kakashi, remain behind. Team 7, you're dismissed and allowed to rest," the Sandaime Hokage said. Team 7 walks out and leaves, leaving Kakashi with the third alone in the office. "What else has happened?" the third asks. "It is most likely these bandits were being funded by IWA. After the bandits were defeated, Naruto was attacked by a stone shinobi. Had I not intervened, Naruto would have been injured, or worse, dead," Kakashi stated. "Their reasons for being in our territory?" the third asks. They claimed the bandit leader was originally from their village. They were sent to capture or kill him. They asked to collect his body to protect their village secrets. My guess is, they didn't want to fight me once I arrived on the scene," Kakashi said. The third takes a puff out of his pipe before blowing it. "Is the Sandaime Tsuchikage test our borders and our response?" Kakashi asked. "Most likely. Inoki was sour about losing the Third Great War and was forced to accept my peace proposal, or else face the annihilation of his army. Then he would have faced usurpers and enter a state of civil war. If he thinks he could rekindle the flames of war again, then he could start by testing our borders. However, our intelligence suggests IWA doesn't have the manpower to start a war," the third said. "The timing couldn't be worse. The Chunin exams are upon us," Kakashi said. "I know. We also face the Military Disarmament Act. We do not have the men to repel an attack if IWA decides to restart the war. However," the Sandaime Hokage said, "IWA also doesn't have the force to launch a successful invasion either. They're still recovering from the Third Great Shinobi War. The losses they took from my sensei was too much for them to recover. However, we really don't have anyone that could damage IWA and keep them at bay from our borders. Sensei really worked overtime in keeping IWA off balance and in full retreat. I still remember the maid 1,000 IWA shinobis fled upon his arrival on the battlefield," Kakashi said. "Minato was a gifted shinobi. Finding someone like him will be hard to come. On that same subject, how is Naruto?" the third asks. "He's growing. Faster than what most kids go through. He'll be jonin in a year. I want permission to grant him some special training. I feel he's ready. It will be tough, but he needs to be trained to handle situations soon. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up in Iwa's bingo book. He did fight Kuratsuchi to a standstill and was able to fight a group of bandits on his own." "Kuratsuchi? You referring to Inoki's granddaughter?" the third asks. "Yeah, she was there," Kakashi said. "She's already a Chunin and is one of Iwa's rising kunoichis. Naruto manages to fight her on even terms. Most impressive," the third said. "Her team was about to intervene in the fight when I made my appearance. They quickly back off once they knew who I was," Kakashi stated. The third turns around to look out the village. Naruto is already leaving his mark in the shinobi world. Make sure you prepare them for the upcoming shinobi exams. The third notes. What if Naruto trained by the gods for Chunin exams? And thanks for watching my video till the end. If you enjoy this content, then do consider subscribing to my channel, and leave a like if you guys need the next part. Comment down, and thanks for watching the video, and see you guys in the next video.